Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 35 of the best sports show out, Highly Opinionated. I'm your co-host, Josh. Ladies and gentlemen, the best co-host in the game, JG. What's up, my brother?
What's going on, fellas? How we living, bro?
We living good, man. How are you?
We're doing great, man. Can't complain at all.
Man, we had a nice week off last week. We back to finish strong for the NBA playoffs. Let's take everybody home through the rest of the NBA playoffs. So we glad to be back. We appreciate you guys. Got a lot of messages last week. Like, what's up, man? Where the show at? Show was back, ladies and gentlemen. Just took a week off. Ladies and gentlemen, we have lives too. We tired too. We want to go to bed too. It's okay. So, but we back. We appreciate y'all for all y'all support. Ladies and gentlemen, the best person on the show. I always say the best editor, the best producer. He is just simply the best person on the show. Ross, what's up, my brother? How you doing, man?
I'm good, Josh. How you feeling?
I'm good, brother. All good, man. We appreciate you for everything, man. You make us look good. I want the world to know how much I'm so grateful. Obviously for John, obviously for Tim, but sir, you are the engine, the stir that stirs the drink for us here at Highly Opinionated, bro. So just wanted to say all love, bro, and thank you for everything that you do.
Yeah, no, I definitely appreciate that. I definitely appreciate both of y'all, Tim, Dylan. Yeah, I really appreciate that.
Tim, Dylan, JG, myself, man, we just, again, man, you make us look good. The clips that people like and comment on because of you, brother. So, man, we're grateful and again appreciate you for just gracing us with your presence here on Highly Opinionated, man.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was just gonna say we definitely missed a lot of course, when you take 1 week off, it seemed like just stuff happened every single day that you just want to talk about. So definitely ready to get the show started for sure.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for watching episode 34. We appreciate you guys for watching and tuning in. All the support you show us here at Highly Opinionated. Also want to give my brother JG plug. Make sure you guys follow and subscribe at Club JG Podcast. This brother, man, he got good things popping, great things popping. I appreciate him for lending himself to my platform. So JG, man, keep doing what you're doing, bro. You got a lot of great things happening, man. So I'm proud of you and keep being great.
Appreciate y'all. And of course, man, got another episode coming up. Interview my former high school teammate, Mr. Eddie Healy. That full episode is going to come out this week, so be on the lookout for that.
Okay. Can't wait for that to drop. Enjoy the last episode with the great Kyle Wise. Enjoyed that. That was definitely a good one. Definitely a good one. Ross, let them know where they can follow us at on socials, my brother.
Yes, sir. As always, it will be up on the screen. You can follow us on Instagram at Highly Opinionated __. You can follow us on TikTok at Highly Opinionated _SS. And you can follow us on Twitter or X at Highly O _SS. And of course, y'all already on the YouTube, so just go ahead, like, subscribe, leave a comment. We will make sure to comment back.
Absolutely. Like Ross said, you'll see it on the screen. You'll see it at the bottom of the ticker as well, ladies and gentlemen. John, you ready to get episode 35 started?
Always, brother. Let's get to it.
Let's get to it. We start off with the NFL draft. We were off last week. We missed the NFL draft. We'll get to the biggest story in NFL draft and let's talk about it. But just in general, for a draft recap, what was your thoughts on the 2025 NFL draft?
Well, other than the major story that obviously everyone wants to talk about, we'll save that for later. It was pretty good draft by some teams that really impressed me. The New York Giants especially really impressed me too with their picks. I think a lot of controversy. I think head coach Brian Daboll, the GM for the Giants, are up there. They're on the hot seat, to say the least. So I thought it was really important for them to have a strong offseason. I think they've really done that. They brought in two decent bridge quarterbacks in Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston. They traded up to get their quarterback of the future, so to speak, in Jackson Dart, rookie quarterback out of Ole Miss. And they also drafted a dual card in the first round. So I think that the New York Giants are taking a great step in the right direction. I'm not sure if this is going to be enough to save Brian Daboll's job as well as the GM, but this is very much a good step in that direction. So I thought the Giants were a team that really stuck out with what they did in the draft. But overall, just seeing and always with the draft, it's a lot of you see a lot of guys like when their emotions come out, because these guys really put everything into it. They put their soul into the game, and when they finally hear their name called, no matter what round it is, it can be the 7th round, pick number 200, whatever. You see the emotion on these guys when they get picked because it matters to them. They work so hard all their lives, and it matters that much to them that you love to see that raw emotion from them just to know how much it means to them, just to hear the name called.
Yeah, absolutely. Watching an NFL draft, Major League Baseball draft, NHL draft, whatever draft you, sports draft you, whatever sports you like to consume and watch, it's one of the best things you can see. Like you see grown men, well, I know technically they're 18, 19, 21 years old, but grown men essentially crying because they realize their dream, their opportunity. And that's a powerful thing. When you watch when I watch a draft, it gives me hope for me. Like not only for this show, Club JG, etc. Like it gives me hope because it's like, okay, like these guys can realize their dreams. Hopefully I can realize my dream. Hopefully you can realize yours, Ross, Tim, etc. So I love the draft for that because it gives you hope. You see the next generation of the stars coming into the NFL, whether it's Cam Ward, Ashton Genty, etc. Like Abdul Carter, like you said. So I love that about the NFL draft. Now, getting back to your point about the Giants, I like that draft. Like you said, the first round, they drafted up to get Abdul Carter. They traded back to the end of the first round, pick number 25 to get Jackson Dart. I like Darius Alexander, the defensive tackle they got in the third round. And I think in the fourth round, they might have got a steal with my man Cam Scatterboo from Arizona State. He was the second best running back in college, in my opinion, behind Ashton Genty this past college football season. Go ahead, bro.
Big fan of Scatterboo for sure. Like the Giants are, they're going to have a fan favorite in Scatterboo. This guy plays hard, runs hard, wants to run over guys. Like he's looking for someone to run over. If you watch him play at Arizona State, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The Giants had a very strong draft, in my opinion, like I said earlier.
Absolutely. And one more thing about Cam Scatterboo. He can run over people, but one thing you look in running backs for other than running is pass protection. He can pass protect his ass off. I love that about Cam Scatterboo. So I agree with you. I like the Giants. I think the Giants had a great draft. For me, there were three teams that had great drafts. I'll start with the Baltimore Ravens. I think the Baltimore Ravens had an amazing draft, as you guys can see on the screen. They drafted Malachi Starts in the first round, Michael Green in the second round, Emory Jones Jr. in the third round. I like LeJohntay Weston, the receiver out of Colorado, in the sixth round. I love what the Ravens did. The Ravens are one of the few teams that they just draft best available player. They'll draft need at times, but they draft best available player. Malachi Starts and Kyle Hamilton together, ladies and gentlemen, that is crazy.
Look out.
Malachi Starts was the best safety in the NFL draft, in my opinion. It wasn't even close. Mike Green, ladies and gentlemen, last year watching the Baltimore Ravens, they got sacks, but you were like, damn, they need just a guy that can just straight get at them. Ladies and gentlemen, I understand Mike Green had off the field issues at Marshall. Okay, I understand that. He fell to the second round. If there is an organization that can massage someone's character to turn them from bad to average to good, it's no better organization than the Baltimore Ravens. You've seen it time after time. I love the Mike Green. He led the nation. He led at the FBS in sacks last season at Marshall. I love what the Ravens did in the NFL draft. They just improved their roster. They got better and better. The second team who I think had a great draft class was the Arizona Cardinals. The Arizona Cardinals drafted Walter Nolan III in the first round. They drafted Will Johnson in the second round, Jordan Birch in the third round, Cody Simon in the second round, Denzel Burke as a corner. So it was three guys on the screen that I love. Walter Nolan III, Denzel Burke, and ladies and gentlemen, it is an atrocity that Will Johnson slipped to the second round. When Michigan won the national championship, if Will Johnson came out that year, he would have been a top 5 pick. Now, I understand he has injuries. I understand he has things going on. I get that. The Arizona Cardinals, for the past 2-3 years, they were playing with no-name corners. Now they have a corner. They tried to develop the offense. They drafted Marvin Harrison. They drafted a left tackle. So they tried to get the offense better around Kyler. Now this defense, they drafted a pass rusher last year in the draft. They tried to improve this defense. What the Arizona Cardinals are simply saying, Kyler Murray, it's no more excuses. It's on you. I love their draft. They built this team up. I don't necessarily think they'll compete for a Super Bowl, but I definitely think the Arizona Cardinals can compete for a playoff spot. They could possibly win the division, but if not win the division, they definitely can compete for a playoff spot next year in the NFC. And the last team who I think won the draft, go ahead, put it up. The Cleveland Browns. I love what the Cleveland Browns did. They traded down from the 2nd pick to the 5th pick. They got a 1st-round pick next year from Jacksonville. Obviously, they could have had Travis Hunter, but they wanted Mason Graham, the defensive tackle from Michigan. They got my man Cody. They got my man Swanger, the linebacker from UCLA. I wanted Tampa Bay to get him. I like that move for them. They got Quinyon Junkins, the running back. They got another running back later on in the draft with Sampson from Tennessee. And obviously, they drafted 2 quarterbacks. Let's start off. They drafted Dylan Gabriel in the 3rd round. I like Dylan Gabriel. I like his tape at Oklahoma. I like his tape at Oregon. He was a very accurate quarterback, a little bit on the short side. And then obviously, with the 144th pick, they drafted Shedeur Sanders out of Colorado, University of Colorado. So I think one of those 2 guys will get to Shedeur Sanders in the next topic. But I think one of those 2 rookies can compete and will play this year for the Cleveland Browns. So the Cleveland Browns, the Baltimore Ravens, and the Arizona Cardinals are my 3 draft winners from the 2025 NFL draft.
I got one more for you, man. I think we're talking about the offseason more so along with the draft, but how about the Chicago Bears?
Yes.
Retooled their offensive line. They had a pretty decent draft highlighted by Luther Burden out of Missouri, who I think was actually a 1st-round talent. So now you've got a wide receiving core with DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, and Luther Burden. Caleb Williams. We talk about Kyler Murray. There's no more excuses. I can say the same thing about Caleb Williams up in Chicago.
Yes. And you didn't even mention.
I didn't even get to the coaches. I didn't get to the
you didn't mention Ben Johnson. I get that. But they drafted Tyler Warren is the best tight end, full overall tight end in the draft. But like if you want a Sam Laporta type tight end, Colston Loveland is your guy. They drafted Colston Loveland in the 1st round. I love Colston Loveland. Colston Loveland was on that Michigan team. Won the national championship 2 years ago. It was him and another tight end. I can't remember the other tight end names. Slipping my mind. As soon as I think of the other tight end, I'll probably come back to him. But again, he was on that national championship team. So I love what the Chicago Bears are doing. The Chicago Bears, like you're saying, are trying to put. I don't think this year is going to be like, okay, if Caleb can't play, it's all on him. But I think they're trying to put it where as though, okay, we're going to give you as many weapons as you can. Kyler Murray's been in the NFL a little bit long. He's been in the NFL longer than Caleb Williams. The jury is still out on Kyler. I think Caleb Williams being the 1st pick in the draft, he's going to get chance after chance after chance to show what he can do. However, the Chicago Bears are making it where as though they're saying, sir, we're giving you every weapon we can give you. We've improved the offensive line. We tried to get weapons around you, tight end, wide receivers, running backs, etc. Let's see what you can do. Can you do something with that?
He can't have this. He can't have the same season he had last season. Fair or unfair, he cannot have the same season. It's got to be improving somewhere.
I agree with that. He can't look lost at times like how he looked lost last year. But I can say that the reason why he looked lost, and you wasn't on the show, but bro, they went to the season with Matt Eberflus. Everybody knew Matt Eberflus was going to get fired. I remember one of the most liked things I put out was Matt Eberflus is going to be fired in 2 weeks. That was right there at Thanksgiving. 2 weeks later, his ass got fired. He should have never been a coach. He's a good defensive coordinator. And ladies and gentlemen, that's okay. Every coach is not a head coach, and that's fine. You can be an offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, position coach, etc. So I think Caleb Williams will look a lot better this year, and I think the talent around him, improving the offensive line. They drafted another offensive lineman in the 2nd round, Ozzie Trapaloy out of Boston College. Tripaloy, hopefully I'm saying his name right, but he went to Boston College. They drafted him in the 2nd round, along with Luther Burden and along with Colston Lebanon in the 1st round. So the Chicago Bears, man, they putting all their eggs in this. Let's develop Caleb and let's see what he can do, basket.
Yeah, the other thing is that quarterback room finally has an actual veteran in there, and not a guy that's basically the same age as Caleb Williams, with Tyson Bagent. This guy was literally like the same age as Caleb. Now you got Case Keenum in there, who's like a veteran guy that could at least, be the dad of that quarterback room, so to speak, and kind of like teach these young guys the ropes in terms of preparation and mindset. So I think that's one of those low-key moves that will definitely pay dividends for Caleb Williams.
Yeah, we make fun of backup quarterbacks, but obviously you want your backup quarterback to play. But the one thing I love about veteran backup quarterbacks, they're essentially another quarterback coach because the player is going to go to them. Caleb Williams is going to go to Case Keenum. Hey Case, what did you see here? What did you see there? How did you read this? How did you read that? So that's essentially another extension of the offensive coaching staff. And the backup quarterback, that's a veteran. He's essentially a quarterback coach. So I love that. I love you mentioning the Bears.
Same thing with Flacco and the Browns. You know, you got two young rookies in Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders. That's a Super Bowl champion quarterback you got in your quarterback room. So
and let me add this. I know no one wants to respect that. Obviously, Dylan Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders, and Kenny Pickett as well. I know Kenny Pickett is not a veteran, so he can learn from Joe Flacco. He can learn something from Joe Flacco, maybe one or two things, but he still can learn. I know Kenny Pickett won the Super Bowl. Actually, it's so funny. Kenny Pickett actually took snaps in the Super Bowl. That's crazy. So nobody ever. Well, I'm sure Tim thought it was going to be a blowout, but most people didn't think it was going to be a blowout. So Kenny Pickett got snaps in the Super Bowl, but Kenny Pickett can learn from Joe Flacco. Kenny Pickett can learn from Joe Flacco. Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, you watching Highly Opinionated. Taking our first break. We'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, this episode of Highly Opinionated is brought to you by Edibly Airy. Enjoy the heightened experience of THC edibles in a whole new way. At Edibly Airy, our freeze-dry edibles available in 100 milligram, 200 milligram, 300 milligram, 400 milligram will give you the buzz you crave with a flavor you won't forget. Available in 3 different flavors: watermelon sunset, tropical fruit, and berry. To place orders, please visit the website at ediblyairy.com. While you're there at ediblyairy.com, use a promotion code. You guys see the promotion code on the screen? $ Highly Airy, $. Again, $ Highly Airy, $ for 20% off your first purchase. Follow us on IG at Edibly Airy for new product releases and monthly hookups. Must be 21 and over to purchase. Edibly Airy, the best freeze-dry edibles out. Go shop. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Highly Opinionated, the best segment in sports, ladies and gentlemen. In this week's edition of Let's Talk About It is the biggest topic in sports this week. Quarterback Shedeur Sanders from Colorado. Obviously, we mentioned that he got drafted by the Cleveland Browns. Shedeur Sanders, who was projected to be a first round pick. Most people had him to be the second quarterback, if not the second quarterback drafted. He was actually the 5th quarterback drafted. The first pick went to Cam Ward. The second pick, Cam Ward was the first pick, went to the Tennessee Titans. The second quarterback taken was Jackson Dart. The New York Giants traded back in the first round to get Jackson Dart. The third quarterback taken was Tyler Shuck, 40th overall to the New Orleans Saints. The 4th quarterback taken was Jalen Milroe, number 92 to the Seattle Seahawks. That's in the 3rd round. And then the 5th quarterback taken, which was in the 5th round, 144, was Shedeur Sanders. So I've heard a lot of stuff this week about why did Shedeur fall, what could have led to his fall. The NFL wanted to show him a lesson. The NFL was racist, all type of stuff. So do you want to start this or do you want me to start?
Go for it, bro.
Okay. So I'll start. Do I think the NFL is racist? Do I think the NFL is racist on this topic? No, I do not. I don't. Shedeur, in today, in the modern age of quarterback, you want your quarterbacks to be able to move. Prime example. I'll give you a quarterback that I like. Baker Mayfield. He's not Lamar Jackson. He's not Josh Allen, but he can move. I think he has a little bit more quickness than even Shedeur Sanders has. So you want your quarterbacks to be able to move. That's the first thing. So, okay, like he was going to take a knock for that. So I don't think the NFL is racist. Secondly, I don't think that there was collusion, because think about it like this: when the Browns, when Jimmy and Dee Haslam, Jimmy Haslam is the owner of the Browns, and Dee Haslam which is his wife, the owners of the Cleveland Browns. They went out and they signed Deshaun Watson to that mega deal. He got the most guaranteed money out of anybody that has ever played in the NFL at the quarterback position. The owners wasn't happy about that. The other owners weren't happy about that because they thought that it was going to boost up. They were going to have to pay more and more and more for quarterbacks. So this talk about collusion, the owners can't keep their mouth shut long enough for collusion to happen. Now, if you want to say Colin Kaepernick was collusion, okay, fine, I can understand that. But in this particular situation, it's not collusion. Because if an NFL owner thought that Shedeur Sanders could improve their roster and make them better, they would have drafted them in the first round. I mentioned earlier, the Baltimore Ravens won the draft. Mike Green was their second round pick. Why did Mike Green fall to the second round? Because they had off the field issues. That did not stop the Baltimore Ravens from drafting him. Henry Ruggs, he was drafted by the Las Vegas Raiders, right? I'm gonna go back and then I'm gonna do a little bit of foreshadowing. He got arrested for drunk driving and he killed someone. He's in jail now serving his sentence. John, let me ask you a question. You think Henry Ruggs get out of jail and he runs a 4.2 flat, a 4.240? You don't think NFL team gonna sign him? You damn right they're gonna sign him because he still got speed. Speed you can't teach. So the NFL is about winning. The NFL is not about, okay, we want to show this guy a lesson, show this a lesson. Like some people in the NFL might think that, but for the most part, you're trying to win. So do I agree that Shedeur Sanders should have got drafted in the 5th round? Absolutely not. No. I don't understand what they were looking at. But I don't understand what they were looking at when Russell Wilson got drafted in the 3rd round. I don't understand what they were looking at when Joe Montana got drafted in the 3rd round. I don't understand what they were looking at when Tom Brady, in my opinion, the greatest quarterback ever got drafted in the 6th round. I don't know what they were looking at when Brock Purdy. I'm not saying Brock Purdy is the greatest quarterback. He was the last pick in the draft. So I think the NFL, when you have a draft, whether it's any sport, the sport speaks. And the NFL spoke, and they thought he wasn't he wasn't the best quarterback. He wasn't the second best quarterback. They view him right now as a backup. And then you know anything about backups, your backup shouldn't be making no noise. We just mentioned that with Case Keenum. Case Keenum is not going to make noise in Chicago. His job is to make Caleb Williams the best he can be. Shedeur Sanders wants to play. So you can't, that's an oxymoronic statement from the NFL eyes because they view him as a backup. So again, like I said, I don't agree with the NFL drafting him in the 5th round. I'm gonna make that very, very clear. But this notion and this BS about, this racism, oh my God, they wanted, no, sir. The NFL owners are about winning. They're about winning. The Eagles literally run a play where they push people down. They call it the tush push. Other teams have tried it, but the Eagles are the team that's synonymous for it. So NFL is all about winning. You're trying to win. So, I just think, again, I don't think it was collusion. I don't think it was racist. I don't think it was none of that. They just don't think he's that good. He has an opportunity to show how good he really is.
All good?
Yeah, I'm good.
This had nothing to do with football with Shedeur Sanders. This had absolutely nothing to do with football. There's no way in hell that he should have fallen to the 5th round. It's got nothing to do with talent. It's got everything to do with off-the-field stuff because people flat out didn't like the kid. They didn't like how cocky he was. They didn't like how brash he was. They don't like his dad. This had nothing to do with football. You tell me that the NFL is about winning and the owners are about winning. Well, tell me why the New Orleans Saints decided to go with Tyler Shuck, a guy who's 25 years old going on 26, and played at Louisville with 2 season-ending injuries already in his history. You decide to take him because you think he's better. The Pittsburgh Steelers, one of the oldest, most successful franchises in the NFL, synonymous with winning. You didn't pick a quarterback until Will Howard on day 3. National champion.
In the 6th round.
Champion. Yeah, 6th round. National champion. Give him respect. He ain't Shedeur Sanders. I'm sorry. He's not Shedeur Sanders.
He's not.
That's the Pittsburgh Steelers we're talking about. You decided to say, hey, we're going to skip out on every quarterback and go with Will Howard over Shedeur Sanders. Jalen Milroe. I love Jalen Milroe. Roll Tide, you know how I am. He ain't better than Shedeur Sanders. I'm sorry. He's athletic. He's got promise. Give him the right situation to develop him. He can be a very good quarterback in this league. He ain't better than Shedeur. It's not an accident that Shedeur Sanders had a 74% completion percentage in the FBS last year. Is that not the job of a quarterback to be accurate? Right.
That is the number one job of a quarterback. Well, number one, number two, other than lead, but yes. And Shedeur Sanders is a great leader as well. We're not questioning his leadership.
You questioning leadership too? I don't think leadership's a question.
Not at all.
So he's not a statue. I know he's not. Listen, Cam Ward, I get it. he's definitely ahead of Shedeur. You can even make an argument for Jackson Dart based off where he played, the competition he had, and his mobility. I understand that. Shedeur Sanders is not a statue. He's not Joe Flacco where he's just standing back in the pocket, not a threat to run. Shedeur can move. Does he have blazing speed like Lamar Jackson? No. Does he have the fancy footwear like a Patrick Mahomes? No. But he can escape the pocket and make plays. He's shown that ability. He's not just standing back there with zero threat to run. He's more like a Geno Smith with Seattle, a very accurate quarterback, and can win, and you can win games with that. But the New Orleans Saints, the Pittsburgh Steelers decided we're not going to go with that guy. We're going to go with Tyler Shuck and then Will Howard and wait. This is and as a Ravens fan, I find this hilarious and I love watching it. We're deciding we're going to wait on a 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers who doesn't even know if he wants to play football next year. He came on a Pat McAfee show and said, yo, I talked to these teams and I said, yo, I don't have a timeline. You can move on without me if you want to. The Giants said, hell with that. We don't have time to wait for you. So he traded up to get Jackson Dart. The Pittsburgh Steelers said, it's good. It's cool. Take all the time you need. Go to LA and throw some passes to DK Metcalf. Let the world see that you're still moving around in your cleats and shorts and playing a little catch with DK Metcalf, our newest receiver. You had Cam Hayward come on this podcast and basically call Aaron Rodgers saying, what the hell are you waiting for? It's the Pittsburgh Steelers. We're that. Apparently, no, you're not. You had Shedeur Sanders was linked to the Pittsburgh Steelers at 21.
Yes, he was.
Hey, look, great pickup. Harmon out of Oregon, great pickup. Love the story. God bless him. Let
me just say this. I'm sorry. I don't want to cut you off. You know that.
Good.
Derek Harmon. Let me take my glasses off this. Sir, I got respect for you, man. You got drafted and you lost your mother, man. That's a hell of a story, sir. Derek Harmon, I'm a fan of yours, man. Salute to you, brother. Salute to you. I hope you have a hell of an NFL career. And I'm glad that your mother was able, rest in peace to Mrs. Harmon, prayers to the Harmon family. I'm glad that your mother was able to live and see you get drafted, man. That's a hell of a moment, man. That's a hell of a moment.
1,000%. I'm right there with you. But with the Steelers, man, it's just like, and you know what? Mel Kiper, the great Mel Kiper, one of Calvin Hall's finest.
Calvin Hall's finest in the house.
He has Shedeur Sanders as the number one quarterback on the board
Yes,
at the beginning of the draft.
Yes, he did.
You got to go back to Matt Barkley, a guy that fell from number one to basically a fifth-round draft pick, and we saw how his career ended up. But that was because of his play during the season.
Yeah.
Shedeur Sanders played well and was projected at number one by Mel Kiper. Mel Kiper knows football more than any of us. He knows how to evaluate players way better than us. So I got a hard time believing that Mel Kiper was that dead wrong about Shedeur Sanders, the football player, falling to the fifth round. You know what that tells me? It's got nothing to do with football. You got all these reports coming out talking about Shedeur came into meetings, not prepared, kind of like, snuffing his nose at teams he didn't want to be with. Same thing with Deion Sanders. And if that's true, Deion Sanders has his hands dirty in this, so does Shedeur. But this, again, it's got nothing to do with football. I don't want to hear a damn thing about Shedeur falling because of football. It's total BS. The guy is a good. I think he can be a great quarterback. This has nothing to do with football. When the last time you seen a quarterback start draft weekend? He's number one. After the season's over with, Colorado's wide receivers were some of the most productive wide receivers in the nation. How'd they get the ball? They can't throw it themselves, right? Last I checked, the guy needs to give them the ball, their quarterback. That was Shedeur Sanders. So you're telling me that Tyler Shuck, Jalen Milroe, even Jackson Dart deserve to go higher than Shedeur Sanders? You think because he's not that good? What the hell are you watching? What's the real reason that you feel that way about Shedeur? He just got prank called by a coach's son, 21 years old, an idiot, decided to put his face on camera and think, this will be funny. Let me get Shedeur Sanders' number, take a video of me prank calling him. It's not nothing to do with football. It's about all these powerful individuals in the NFL, the GMs, coaches, and owners trying to humble him, saying that you're not that good. We're going to humble you. Shedeur Sanders got to where he was because of his attitude. He got to where he was because how cocky he was. I want my starting quarterback to be cocky. You telling me you can change the franchise? All right, bet. Let's do it. Now you got to show me on the field. But I need that attitude. I want that attitude for the quarterback I'm about to invest in. Come on, man. It's got nothing to do with football. I'm tired of everyone trying to make it seem like it's got something to do with football, and we're over here talking about you don't need to have the attitude and showboating. Who was Johnny Manziel? Who was Baker Mayfield? Don't give me that bullshit about showboating and attitude, like because you know it's a bunch of BS. You know it is. So be honest about why you feel the way you do about Shedeur. It ain't about football.
But let me say this. You're right. And you know, not to be funny, pause. You threw a stone in my heart when you said Baker Mayfield, because I'm right there with you. I get that. You're 100% right.
But it's all right. Baker Mayfield is dope. Part of his game is the moxie, is the attitude. That's a good thing.
I know, and I love that.
We're playing football. We're not going to choir practice. We're playing football. Come on, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna just say this. John likes his quarterbacks that have some spunk. I like my co-hosts. I like everybody to have some spunk. And my man got that spunk on this segment because he fired up over Shedeur Sanders. And I get it. And you're 100% right. It's not all about football. We get that. I understand that. But for me, I just want this to be out here. Like we're two black men. We're two African Americans. I don't want people to use racism in this because this has nothing to do with racism. 15 of the 30 starting quarterbacks are black. They are African American. So this has nothing to do with racism.
That's fine.
John, me and you can agree. We had Shedeur. Sir, I did a mock draft. Ladies and gentlemen, I was on the show called the Let It Ride Podcast. Shout out to my boy Jeff. Go to follow at the Let It Ride Podcast on Twitter. You can get his stuff on Spotify, wherever you download your podcast from. We did a mock draft. And number 2, I did even pick. I mean, he did even picks. I did odd picks. At number 21 for the Steelers, guess who I picked them taking? Shedeur Sanders. So I'm with you. I'm 100% with you. But you're not a talent evaluator. I'm not a talent evaluator in the NFL. I'm not. Like, I thought Baker Mayfield, like, I kept hearing Baker Mayfield was a bum for years. And I'm like, bro, like, he plays in Cleveland. Now, think about it like this. I'm going to hit y'all with this.
He plays in Cleveland. How about that?
He plays in Cleveland. Now, think about it like this. I'm going to hit you with this. Is Shedeur Sanders going to get the same treatment that I gave Baker Mayfield? He plays in Cleveland, dysfunctional, bad organization. They've been the worst. The Cleveland Browns are the worst organization in North American sports. They are the worst. So it's like, what are we? I see that laugh, so I know where you're going at. I know what you're getting to, but I'm just saying, and I'll let you get to that. But my point is that, like, what are we saying? Like, what are we saying? So for me, I disagree I agree with you. Shedeur Sanders should have been picked in the first round, in my opinion. But I'm not a talent evaluator. You're not a talent evaluator. The NFL spoke, and they decided he's a 5th round pick. Now, with that being said, I do think in Cleveland, he has a chance to be a starter. Joe Flacco is 40 years old. I don't have no faith in Kenny Pickett. So really, in essence, he has to beat Dylan Gabriel. I think whoever wins that quarterback controversy between Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders, they'll be better than Kenny Pickett. And then you just have to hope Joe Flacco do what he do. He'll have a 4 touchdown game. He'll have a 4 interception game. And then you can take the spot from him. So, listen, I'm not in love with the spot for Cleveland, but if you look at it just whole hum, and you look at it just being objective, this might be his best chance to be a starting quarterback.
Josh, that's no, dude. It wasn't his best. Look at New Orleans. It's the worst quarterback room I've ever seen in my life.
Okay. All right. Let me say this about Tyler Shuck, because you really got an issue with Tyler Shuck.
Pittsburgh right now has Mason Rudolph, Will Howard, and Skylar Thompson.
Yeah, but okay. All right. Let me address these in order. Aaron Rodgers is going to the Steelers. Whether I like it or whether you like it,
are we sure?
I'm positive he's going to the Steelers. He's going to the Steelers. And let me say this: if they don't get Aaron Rodgers, they will trade for Kirk Cousins. So I think they will have Aaron Rodgers or Kirk Cousins as their starting quarterback. Let me just say this: Shedeur, even though I thought he fit there, the Pittsburgh Steelers are in a win now mode because their players are older. So they feel like, okay, we need to get a veteran quarterback in here. Let's win now. Whether I agree with that or not, that's their opinion. They have that right to do that. Now, the New Orleans Saints. What I'm about to say might piss some people off. I don't have a problem with the Saints drafting Tyler Shuck. That's their guy. It's the same thing the Giants did with Jackson Dart. If you think someone is your guy, draft him. If Tyler Shuck isn't any good, that's fine. Now, let me say this. The reason why I have a little bit more respect for Tyler Shuck than you do, I watched him play a couple times. I know you have too. But there's an ESPN analyst who was one of my favorite ESPN analysts out there. His name is Louis Riddick. He was a former general manager, assistant GM with the Eagles, Commanders, etc. He loves Tyler Shuck. So I'm not going to necessarily say I'm just going to like him because Louis Riddick like him. But I will say, in the past like 3 or 4 drafts, when Louis Riddick say this person is that and this person is that, he's been right majority of the time. He said take C.J. Stroud over Bryce Young. He said take Jaden Daniels over Caleb Williams. So for me, just because I'm upset that Shedeur Sanders went 144 doesn't mean I need to minimize the people that went ahead of him, whether it's Jalen Miro or whether it's Tyler Shuck. Those guys have opportunities to prove what they can be. Yes, I would have loved to see Shedeur not in Cleveland. Of course, I would love to see him with the Giants. I would love to see him with the Saints. I would love to see him with the Steelers. But that doesn't mean he doesn't have an opportunity to go to Cleveland and win the job. He has an opportunity to do that.
The last successful quarterback that Cleveland had, they decided to trade him. That was Baker Mayfield, your guy. Before that, I think it was Derek Anderson back in 2007. Before that, it was Tim Couch in 2001. Cleveland has had over 40 starting quarterbacks in their existence. 40 different starting quarterbacks. I fear for Shedeur's career in Cleveland. And look, normally I'm a very nice person and I try to be considerate of people. Just not really doing that today. I'm just trying to be real. I fear for Shedeur's career being in Cleveland because they don't do well with quarterbacks. There's too much evidence to say so. I remember Deshaun Kaiser was a promising prospect out of Notre Dame. Everyone was so high on him. Guy played 2 years in Cleveland and fell out the face of the earth. I'm like, where the hell is Deshaun Kaiser? Is he okay? Like, I was worried about his well-being. Johnny Manziel was electrifying in college. I thought, damn, maybe Cleveland might actually have a savior.
I thought so too.
Crashed out before the season was over.
Yeah.
I'm like, is he okay?
But Johnny had an off the field situation problem.
Okay. That's fine.
At Texas A&M too. So
I'm just saying the history, man. I'm just saying the history. And look, I don't mean to be like disrespectful to Tyler Shuck. I'm sure the guy can play. The difference when you talk about Jaden Daniels, you talk about, C.J. Stroud being picked over the guys they were picked after. I saw it already. Like, I saw it with C.J. Stroud. I saw it with Jaden Daniels. I don't see it with Tyler Shuck. I'm being honest. I can see it with Jackson Dart in the great situation that he's got. Got 2 veterans to learn behind. Jackson Dart's going to be in a really good situation. This quarterback run from New Orleans is awful. Derek Carr is on his last leg with an injured shoulder that might possibly keep him out of the season. You're talking about Spencer Rattler or Tyler Shuck starting week 1.
And I let me say this. I don't think Spencer Rattler is as bad as people think he is. Do I think he's a starting quarterback? No. But I don't think he's terrible. And again,
is he a starting quarterback that can win you some games?
Is he? Say it again. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Is he a starting quarterback that can win you some football games?
Yeah, he can win you a game or two. So yeah, that's winning some games.
No, I said football games, not one.
Oh no, he's not that right now.
What we talking about then?
But I will say, I don't think Spencer Rattler is that now. But to me, that's the development of Kellen Moore. You're a former quarterback. You've been a backup before. You have to get your. And let me say this: if the Saints suck because they have an old defense, offensive line issues, that's fine. But I expect Kellen Moore to at least get the quarterback to play adequately. Average. I expect that because you're a former quarterback in the NFL. So for me, I just think that I don't want to disrespect Tyler Shuck, Jalen Milroe, Jackson Dart. Like, those guys got drafted by the Giants, they got drafted by the Seahawks, and they got drafted by the Saints, respectively. We can agree that Shedeur should have been drafted higher. I agree with that. But we shouldn't have to minimize the other quarterbacks that got drafted ahead of him. That's all I'm saying. You're right. I think Shedeur is better, but
This is one of those moments. This is one of those moments where like it's hard to be right and not be like totally like somewhat disrespectful. Because if I'm being honest, like that's just how I feel about it. It had nothing to do with football. It had nothing to do with talent or anything like that. I'm not saying these guys aren't talented. You gotta have some talent if the NFL is going to draft you. No, for sure. Jalen Milroe, again, I love Alabama football. I'm a fan of Jalen Milroe. I'm glad he got drafted where he is. I think he's got a good opportunity like to get some playing time.
Absolutely, because I'm not the biggest Sam Darnold fan. So.
Are you sold on Sam Darnold? Really?
I'm not.
So I mean, who knows? Who knows? There, it's just the way that this went down is why it rubs me the wrong way. I'm not saying there's racism going on or anything like that, but it's really weird how a guy that led the nation in completion percentage, and that's what you want out of your quarterback, goes from projected top quarterback to possibly, to the fifth round. After the fourth round was over, I was sitting here thinking like Shedeur might not get drafted.
That's what I was thinking. I thought the same thing.
And that would be the craziest stuff that I've ever seen with the NFL draft. It's just not plausible if we're talking about football. I just find it very hard to believe that him falling had stuff to do with the game. It had something to do off the field, and the fact that there's some GMs and coaches out here that flat out said, "I don't like him, so we're not going to draft him. I don't like his attitude. I'm not going to draft him." You're dismissing with that. That's the way I feel about it.
No, I get you. It was reports came out said he didn't interview well. He didn't. Now I will say I wasn't in the interview, so I don't know that. But I will say one of the things that hurt him, he didn't perform at the combine. He didn't perform at the only thing he performed at was Colorado Pro Day, and basically Shedeur Sanders was moving like he was a top 5 pick. The NFL didn't. The NFL didn't see him as it. And then the last thing, he didn't hire an agent. I feel like, let me just free game to you, bro. If Club JG become where it need to be, bro, you need to hire an agent. So your agent can hear things that you won't necessarily, that they don't want to tell you. They don't want to say, "Hey, John, man, you just getting into the game. I don't know how good you are at this talking thing." But they'll tell your agent that because their agent ain't you. And it's your agent's job to be the buffer. He didn't have an agent. If Highly Opinionated gets the way I feel like it should be, I will have an agent. I already have an agent in mind. So my point is that like the NFL should be looked at, but Shedeur Sanders and his camp didn't handle everything the right way, the way they should have handled it. Why not perform at the NFL Combine? Why not perform at the Big 12 Pro Day? It's just Big 12 players there. Why not perform? Show out. Show what you got. So for me, again, like I said, I think it's like a bowl of chili. You got your beans in there. You got your ground beef in there. Like you got to stir it around. It's a lot of things in there that make the chili what it is. A couple things in there make the chili what it is. And for me, the NFL should be not looked at, but the NFL, you be like, damn, what do y'all not see that I see? And with Shedeur and his camp, could you handle things better? Yeah, they could have handled things better. So I think it's a double-edged sword, the NFL and Shedeur Sanders. So I just feel like, again, seeing things, racism, collusion, stuff like that, it's not that. The NFL spoke, and they thought he was a 5th-round pick. Shedeur, I believe in you. I think you have a chance to you're in the, maybe John might not agree, the perfect quarterback room, but you're in a good quarterback room where so you could be the starting quarterback if things go your way.
I think Shedeur Sanders is in the most interesting quarterback room in the NFL, and hope and pray that Hard Knocks is covering Cleveland this year.
That would be amazing. That would be amazing. Roger Goodell should make sure HBO and Hard Knocks covers the Cleveland Browns this year. They've covered Cleveland I covered them a couple years ago. So hopefully they Hard Knocks get in there and film them again. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Highly Opinionated. We'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, this episode of Highly Opinionated is sponsored by Wolves of War. In some of the episodes, you can see my co-host and Ross wearing a brand called Wolves of War. Wolves of War is our first sponsor, ladies and gentlemen, and we are so thankful to have those guys sponsoring Highly Opinionated. Thank you very much. The actual meaning of Wolves of War is that it represents having a strong path behind you through the battles of life. With the right people behind you, you can get through anything. You guys see the link for Wolves of War? Make sure you guys click on the link, shop, great apparels, t-shirts, sweatsuits, whatever you want, they have. Once again, Wolves of War. Make sure you guys go shop. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Highly Opinionated. As you can see, we got a special guest. 2 weeks in a row, we hit you guys with Calvin Hall love. Obviously, me and John with the Calvin Hall. This gentleman on the screen, one of the funniest guys me and John know. Like this guy, he knows the sports. He's a character. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Breon to Highly Opinionated. Welcome to Highly Opinionated, Breon. What's up with you, brother?
What's good? Yes, sir.
We appreciate you for coming on, man. Everything good with you?
Everything good. Appreciate y'all having me. You know, I've been watching the pod since it got kicked off. I used to watch John's when he was doing his by himself with the Raven stuff on.
Club JG podcast. That's still
for sure.
That's still available and out, man. Hopefully you get to watch both of us, man. We appreciate you for
definitely, man. I appreciate y'all having me on. And you know we get into it on Twitter all the time.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, man. So when I first started this show, when I came to basketball, and obviously football too. I obviously got Tennessee Titans on. We'll talk about number one pick in a second. But you were the first person I thought about having on the show just because of the interactions, man, you have on Twitter. So fun, man. So engaging. But I'm gonna give you this, bro. I learned a lot from you. We don't always agree on stuff, but I learned a lot from you, bro. So I'm grateful for the relationship and grateful for the interaction going back and forth and learning from you, bro. So I appreciate that.
For sure.
So, Tennessee Titans, before we get to the NBA playoffs, Tennessee Titans, number one pick, Cam Ward. You happy about that, bro?
You know what? I got on board. Once I was reading the writings on the wall. You know what I mean? Through the whole college season, I was Shedeur. I was Shedeur right over him. And then I had Jackson as 3. And I think a part of that is because I was just watching Shedeur like every game since Jackson State. So, you know, you just kind of fall in love with the whole, because you know what they had going on with Dion and everything. And I like Cam, but he just seemed so chill to me. I did not like that. I did not like how lackadaisical he was in the pocket. It seemed like, you know, he knew like it was college ball. Like I got, you know, Miami had 3-4 good receivers on the team, plus a tight end. So they was chilling for the most part. And he got to do his little flat-footed passes, or when he's scrambling, he stopped running, he just walk out of bounds. I was like, man, I don't know if that's going to work for us. I don't know if that's going to work for me. But after the draft process, when I seen that Shedeur was dropping and everybody was like, Cam was the Titans number 1, I got on board. I started watching more tape, and I mean, I'm happy. I'm excited. I'm excited that we got a mobile 2025 quarterback. You know what I mean? And the part about him being more chill than Shedeur might be a plus. You know what I mean? Maybe, you know, he'd be accepted more in Tennessee. If you catch my drift. So, you know, they don't want too much personality out there, so that it might fit.
Go ahead, John. Go ahead.
No, like it's funny you bring up personality, like because we kind of like we just got finished talking about Shedeur and how basically his personality and his cockiness are the reason why he slid as far as he did. I thought it had to do with football. You know, Josh kind of talked about like, you know, the NFL spoken. He thought he was a 5th round pick. I didn't think it had anything to do with football. Like it had everything to do with, you know, the personality, how he comes off, the cockiness and all that. But I never had him over Cam Ward. I thought Cam Ward was probably like the more complete, you know, player, you know, in terms of athleticism and accuracy.
Yeah, definitely more athletic for sure.
Yeah, for sure. But like, what else? How do you like the draft overall with your team? Like, you know, other than just Cam Ward, you think you guys had a good draft for the most part?
Yeah, I liked our draft. I feel like we filled some positions of need for sure. We grabbed a sleeper safety in Winston, and we got one of my favorite pick. We got is I cannot. You know what I'm talking about from Stanton. Ayomeyer. I cannot say his last name. The one that cooked Travis in college.
Oh yeah, that corner.
No,
what's the wide receiver?
Alec Ayomeyer from Stanford. He had like 900 receivers. He cooked Travis Hunter when they played.
Alec Ariel Manor, like you said. That was a Friday night game. We had like 20 catches in that game. I know you're talking about.
Yeah. He's gonna be a good. He's gonna walk right in and be the wide receiver too. And I think we got him in the 5th round. You guys
still got Ridley, right?
Yeah, we still got Ridley.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
Yep. So we filled a lot of positions in need. And I was hoping that we got Cam's tight end, but we never went and got him. Arroyo, I would have liked him too. But overall, I like the draft. It's the Titans, you know. I can't expect us to do anything that's going, you know, shock the world. We're going to pretty much stay in line with the book.
That don't sound like you, bro. Like not from the years I remember, like following you with the Tennessee. That don't sound like you. Like
you know what broke me? You know what broke my spirit a little bit?
Will Levis broke this man, John. He broke him.
Mr. Mayonnaise broke your spirit.
It was three steps to breaking my spirit. The first step was trading AJ.
Yeah,
that was step number one. Yeah. Step two was firing Vrabel.
That was dumb. I'll give you that.
That was dumb.
And then I didn't like in combination how they treated Malik and how they just swore Will Levis was amazing. And I hopped on board with him as a good fan would do. And I knew, like, I was like, okay, yeah, he's trash like I thought he was. So now I'm just hoping for 6 wins. I want Cam to just do good because them Titans fans, man, they'll say tank for Arch in like week 3 or something like that. So we just gotta keep them on board with Cam and just move forward right now. But I still talk my shit. I don't know. Can we say shit? We can say shit on here, right?
Yeah. Go ahead, bro. Yeah, you good.
Yeah. Don't sleep now. I know he's cheesing, John. Y'all ain't win nothing, brother.
That's fine, man. Look,
boy Lamar ain't win nothing, brother.
Look, I get it, bro. Look, we messed up in the playoffs, but look, I appreciate you giving us the king.
Listen, y'all always take our exes.
Our sloppy seconds.
Yeah. Y'all love somebody ex.
The grass is greener on the other side. That's why they keep coming over. The grass is greener on the other side. They acted
like, I'm sorry to go too long on the Titans. I know most people in the world. They acted
Breon,
like
go ahead, bro. Go ahead. You got it.
They act like that was Derrick Henry's first good season. He got more press last year than he got in 7 years in Tennessee.
I'll give you that.
They was acting like he never ran for 1,900 yards. I'm like, this is what he do.
I will give you
what he did with us. I'm like, all right, man. He did that every year.
And Derrick Henry led the Titans to the AFC Championship game. I know Ryan Tannehill was the starting quarterback, but Derrick Henry was the person who led them to the AFC Championship game. He got more press this year with the Ravens than he ever did with Tennessee. I'm sorry, Breon. Go ahead.
No, you're right. That championship game hurt. We stopped giving the ball in the second half. Same thing the Ravens did. I don't know what it is with football, but when you got that running back, that second half, people just stopped running the ball.
I don't know why.
And Mahomes had one of those Mahomes runs, like a 30-yard run where no one could touch him.
Yeah, he ran over the cornerback. Didn't touch him and all that.
I can't stand that, but it is what it is. Tighten up, baby.
So, John, let me get one question, then I'll give you the last one. So, you guys got Will Levis. I'm looking at you. I'm looking at the draft now. I like Khalil Mullins in the 6th round, running back from Michigan. I like that. I like Marcus Harris, cornerback in the 6th round from Colorado. They drafted the offensive lineman in the 5th round. The wide receiver you talking about from Stanford, they drafted in the 4th round. Gunnar Helm, I like that tight end from Texas a lot. Like he's a vertical threat. He can play the tight end position. I like him in the 3rd round. I mean, they drafted him in the 4th round. They drafted a wide receiver in the 4th round from Florida, Dyke. So you mentioned Kevin Winston Jr., the safety from Penn State, who you like a lot. Let me ask you this. I know might not be as high on your Titans as you maybe in previous years, but I'm gonna ask you this: what's stopping them from winning that division? That division is not hard.
Quarterback play.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go out there and be a top 5, the 15th best quarterback in the league, we'll win our division. If he could be middle of the pack, and that's not much for a rookie to do these days. Rookies can come in and get it done. He's the first. He was drafted first overall, so
for a reason.
Some pressure on him. It's some pressure on him to do better than what we've been. You know what I mean? I don't want to hear that it was a weak class. It's too late. You drafted number 1 overall. Now, defensively, we got to keep – see, last year was our year to really kind of steal it a little bit, steal the division, because we were in a lot of games that Will Levis just threw away. So it's hard. I don't know if we're going to be in those close games, but we do got a 1,000-yard back. We do got the running game. And we got serviceable receivers. And if our defensive line is don't sleep on the front 7, because we still got Simmons and we got Tavondre Sweat in that middle. So that's it. I mean, who we got? The Jags, the Texans. The Texans, we could split with them. The Jags, they that's little brother right there. That's little bro. And the Colts, their quarterback is I'm out on him. If he's starting, we will win.
If you lose to Daniel Jones, the starting job, it might be time to either switch positions or find a new career. That's the way I look at it.
I'm going to say this. Y'all going to kill me for this. Do I think Daniel Jones is a good to great quarterback? No. But I'm gonna give y'all this analogy. I'm gonna give
I
y'all this
might be on your
analogy.
side with this.
I'm gonna give y'all this analogy. Do I think he can have a career resurgence with the Colts? Hell yeah. I seen that with Baker Mayfield in Tampa. Let me say this. One thing about quarterbacks that I learned, and John, I know you give me that look, bro. Don't do that. Don't do that. I'm about to explain it. The one thing I learned about quarterbacks, it's about where and who you get drafted to. It's not necessarily about ability.
Yeah,
It's about where and who
agree.
you get drafted to. And if
I agree.
Daniel Jones, I know Brian Daboll was
That's
good.
an athletic white boy, man.
Who can
They
run?
could have coached him better.
They could have coached him better with the Giants. They could have gave him more talent with the Giants. Again, I'm not saying Daniel Jones is great. I'm not saying he's good. But do I think he can have a career resurgence? Hell yeah. Hell yeah, with the right coaching staff, the right situation, and in the right division. The AFC South ain't the NFC East. No. He's in an easier division. So he can make those mistakes and possibly overcome that. Whereas though in the NFC East, he can't make those mistakes. Again, John, I'm not saying Daniel Jones is great. Just saying he can have a career resurgence. Go ahead, Breon. I'm sorry, bro.
No, I agree with you on that. I've been saying Daniel Jones is an athlete. Like in his earliest career, that's what can make or break a quarterback. His confidence was shot so early that and he had bad coaching. But career resurgence, I don't know. Could he win the starting job? Is it just him and AR over there?
Yeah, AR, just him and AR. That's it.
He can win that job. And even if AR if he goes 0-2, 0-3 to start the season or something like that, they're gonna be ready to pull him. Because he quit on him last year.
Yep.
No, he didn't. This when the coach knew when he did this, they like, all right, we need to go get a new quarterback because we can't have this. You can't do this. Like, think about, and I know we're gonna get the basketball in a second. Your man LeBron James, he 40 years old. He played game 4. He played the whole second half, 24 minutes. Never seen him tap out. No. Never seen him tap out. You cannot.
He is a rookie. He was his second year. Like, come on, bro.
You can't quit. Bro, you cannot do that in your second year. So my point, Breon, I agree with you 100%. Now, when I say career resurgence, Bree, don't kill me now. Don't, because I know you're gonna use that. Don't kill me, Bree. What I mean by that is this, yo. Like, I think he'll have a good year or two, and then
20 and 12.
Huh?
He can give you 20 and 12.
Yeah, and bro, let me say, and that's a solid to good year. Solid to good year.
Yeah.
For him, for Daniel Jones, that's
for
a
him,
solid.
20 and 12 is a resurgence. That'll give him another 3-year deal somewhere as a backup. Hey, a backup making 20 if you good enough.
I know.
Jalen, not Jalen. What's my for the Steelers? My boy. Why am I missing his name? He just got traded. They had Russell Wilson and
Kenny Pickett.
No, just now they had Russell Wilson and
Justin Fields.
Justin Fields. He went and got what, 40 or something like that?
Yeah, you got like
2 years for 40. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he played 6 games. So could Daniel Jones buy himself another contract this year? Yeah, I can see that. He ain't gonna beat us though. They ain't gonna beat us.
Look, I hear what y'all saying about the coaching, and we've seen some references of guys that we thought were done, and they started getting better coaching. Like Sam Darnold was the latest one. He got to a new situation, had better coaching. Looked like, I mean, the guy got when he got like what $100 million contract. Nobody thought he was getting that, a couple years ago. So I hear you on that. I'm just so out on Daniel Jones because the Giants thought that this was the answer, and they thought Saquon Barkley was replaceable.
But that shows you how.
Maybe that's just the organization,
yeah.
Or maybe or maybe it's just like they see something that we don't, or saw something that we didn't. I've seen enough of Daniel Jones to know that the jury is done with him. If he gets 20 touchdowns next season, I'll come back on the show and apologize to him live.
He'll still be a backup, but he'll be
a backup. But it's like I don't know if he's even going to get 20 and 12, dude. I just think he's that bad, and it's a low bar right now. It's a low bar to clear, beating out Anthony Richardson for the starting job. So
yeah.
I mean, well, listen. If Daniel Jones play good, we would love to have you back on the show. You apologize whenever you want to, bro. You know the invitation, you family, so you always got that. But more, all joking aside, like Daniel, I think, and like Breon, I criticize Will Levis, so he can use this against me, but I'm gonna be honest. Like a lot of times we throw away quarterbacks off one situation and they aren't in the best situation to succeed. Baker Mayfield in Cleveland, he's not in the best situation to succeed.
It looks different though. See, like Baker in Cleveland, you knew they didn't know what to do with his talent. He was good. Baker was good. Like they wasted Baker, but you can see it on tape. He was doing everything he could to win games, and he got them to the playoffs.
Yeah, he did.
Then there's Will Levis, who turns around and throw the ball over his head, flicking the that's just terrible. Yeah.
No,
You're
right.
Different types of
no,
you know what I mean, bad coaching.
No, you're right. But I feel like with Will Levis, for me, I just feel like with Will Levis, like he didn't have the experience that he needed. And they basically only gave him 1 year. So if you get 1 year, you got to be perfect a lot of doing that 1 year. Will Levis is not that. He made mistakes at Kentucky. So he's going to make mistakes in the NFL. Again, my point is that I'm not saying he's great. I'm not saying he's even good. But I just think that if he gets under the right situation, the right coaching staff, whereas though you have to buy into him, that's one of the things that helped Baker in Tampa Bay. They had no choice but to buy into him. It was either him or Kyle Trask. Baker Mayfield's better than Kyle Trask.
Yeah.
So my point
I
is
love
that
Baker.
Breon, let me say this. You welcome on the show anytime. You want to sit in this
Baker.
chair? You want to sit in this chair, bro? You got it any day of the week, bro. We need more people like that who like Baker. But I'm just saying, all joking aside, like, yo, your situation matters. It matters. It matters in the NFL. It matters in the NBA, Major League Baseball, NHL, whatever you doing the show. It matters. You feel me? Yep. So I just feel like, again, Will Levis wasn't the best. Could he rejuvenate could he rejuvenize his career in another location? Hell yeah, for sure. Definitely.
He made a good point, because Brady said it too. Like, and this is one of the weirdest things he ever said. The NFL has a developmental problem. They just kind of like, if you're not Mahomes, you're not Lamar or Josh Allen, one of these force multipliers that we like to call them, you're never going to be good. It's just not reality that you're going to find a quarterback like that every single year with every team. Situation does matter. So I do understand your point there. You got to draft guys. You got to develop them. You got to commit to them. Once upon a time, the Ravens had to commit to Lamar to develop him. The Bills did the same thing with Josh. They had to work on these guys because they weren't who they were in year 1 and year 2 yet. They were still developing. So development, coaching, all that matters, like you just said.
Absolutely. Breon, you got any more on the Titans? Or you?
No, all I'm saying is we got Cam now. He can compete with CJ. As long as we got a quarterback that can go throw with CJ, we're gonna be in the mix.
Absolutely. I think the Titans will be in contention for that division. Not this season coming up. The year after that, basically Cam Ward's second year and beyond, I think the Titans will be in contention for that division.
Yeah.
Let's switch.
Hopefully we try to keep the same OC for more than 2 years in a row, and he should be all right.
That would definitely help. Definitely help. That's the problem. That's the problem. Let me say that's one more thing, then we'll get to the NBA. That's a problem with these quarterbacks. We judging these quarterbacks, and they don't got the same guy in their ear every year. Think about Jalen Hurts. He done had about 4 or 5 offensive coordinators. And then when he struggles, it's like, well, Jalen Hurts isn't that good. Well, you damn right he ain't that good. He got somebody different in his ear. He used to somebody in his left ear, now he got somebody in his right ear talking Spanish. He used to English, now he hearing Portuguese. Now we hearing Spanish. Now we hearing Russian. You feel me? Like, nah, that matters. That matters, ladies and gentlemen. Like, your coordinators and the fact that you got the same simplicity type offense, you know what you hearing, that matters, ladies and gentlemen. Come on now. Y'all should be better than that, and y'all know better than that. Before we get up out of here, Breon, let's switch over to the NBA. So I ain't want to have to do this to you, but you know what? I ain't want to have to do this to you, Bree. I'm sorry, bro.
I got ammo too, brother. Bring it.
I know you do, and you waiting for the Denver Nuggets to let that ammo go. I feel you. I got you. The Los Angeles Lakers, bro. They're down 3-1. You got LeBron James. I know you think he's the greatest of all time. We're not going to debate that. That's another subject for another time. But I know they're down 3-1. Do you think the Lakers have a chance to come back and win the series, or do you think it's just
no?
Yeah. Okay.
They got a chance to make it go 7. I don't see them winning 3 straight.
Okay.
The Wolves, it's the same thing with these Lakers teams. It's weird because LeBron's such an anomaly. He's so old and he's still good. It's like a gift and a curse. It's like, I don't want to build around a 40-year-old, but he's better than everybody on the team except for Luka right now. Like,
yeah, he really is.
What can we do? And if you trade him, what are you going to sell Lakers fans? Rebuild over the next 3-4 years? Like, you got to keep them and ride it out, huh? Can
I ask you this? I know this would never happen. Giannis Antetokounmpo, even though it looks like the Bucks are going to force a game 6, would you? I know they're not going to trade LeBron for Giannis. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, because
But
he got no trade anyway.
you got no trade. But if you could get Giannis with Luka, would you be?
If it was possible?
If it was possible.
Oh yeah. As a
Okay.
GM and I'm a businessman, I got paid. LeBron is a billionaire. I'm a GM working for my couple $100,000 or my mill, whatever. I'm getting paid. I gotta keep my job. So if I could trade Bron and get Giannis back right now for a 40-year-old for Giannis, that's a no-brainer. But that ain't gonna go down like that.
Yeah, that's not. Ladies and gentlemen, let me say that's not going to happen. I'm just putting that out there because the Bucks. I think the Pacers are going to beat the Bucks in this series, even though the Pacers more likely than not will lose Game 5 at home. But I think the Pacers will beat the Bucks, and Giannis hasn't gotten out the first round in a couple of years, so most people think he's on the trade block. That's why I put that out there. Go ahead, John. I'm sorry, bro.
No, I'm just saying that'd be perfect. Like, and there are rumors swirling that Giannis is possibly looking at the Lakers as a destination, assuming that the Lakers have the assets that Milwaukee might want. It might require losing Austin Reeves, probably Rui, guys that originally didn't want to trade. You're going to have to give those up if you're going to possibly get a Giannis. And then it's Miami, and then it's possibly what else? Maybe New York Knicks.
Okay, let me throw out a team to y'all. What about Oklahoma City?
I don't think they do that for Giannis. I don't think they blow that up.
Ooh, I think they would do it in a heartbeat.
I think they would too, bro. They got
Oklahoma.
I see Houston.
20 first-round draft picks.
I see Houston.
There are some dealers in Oklahoma. One thing since they became a team. Look, we old now. We remember when they became a team.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Since they became a team, they have been the best card dealers in the NBA, bro. They know how to. If they said they trading Chet Holmgren and some pieces right now, I'm just gonna trust them because everything they do works. Everything they do works. Paul George had his best career season, with the Thunder. You know what I mean? Like everything they've done. So if they made that move, I would trust them, and I would. I mean, Shea and Giannis on the same team. Like,
let me. Go ahead, John. I'm sorry.
You got somebody to open the game and close it.
I mean, I get it. I can see Houston doing that before OKC. I think Houston is going to.
That's what I was thinking. I think
they're going to do that first young core to kind of like unload those pieces and try to get a star before KD in the mix. Giannis with that team, I think would work too. But I hear you in Oklahoma City. I don't see them doing that right now, especially with now if they don't win the finals with this team they have right now, anything's possible in my opinion. Because now it feels like you're wasting Shea's best years right now. So you got to do something.
I think he's still young. So he's only like, 27, 26? He's older than Luka. I know that.
Something like that, yeah.
But if I'm Giannis, I wouldn't want to go to the Rockets. Now, it might be a good deal for the Bucks. But if I'm Giannis, I wouldn't want to go there because, I don't think he makes them a championship team. If I go somewhere, I always say that if you go somewhere, you got to go to a place where when I get there, we compete. I don't think Giannis and Jalen Green, Giannis and Van Vliet, Giannis and whoever's still there, because I would assume that Şengün would have to go. Or even if you kept him, you got to deplete all your bench and all your future picks, so then you won't have anybody on the bench. No, I don't think Giannis and Şengün are gonna take you to a chip in the West. I don't.
They actually might get in each other's way the more I think about it. That's a good point.
Pairing him with a guard is the goal. Would be the goal. If I'm Giannis, I'm looking at the best guards in the league. Who can I get with?
Golden State.
He needs that.
Golden State.
And I hate that because they could do it. They could do anything they want. I feel like.
Good.
Golden State does whatever. They can get. They almost had KD back there at the All-Star break. But my heart was beating fast. I was like, man, please don't go back. Please, Lord, don't let this happen. But
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander's 26. Just to point that out.
Yeah, so he still got time.
Right,
but as for the Lakers, they just get out. Yo, how do y'all feel about this? I love Luka. I really do, bro. But he don't play any defense.
He don't try.
He don't try at all. Yo, watching him switch on somebody, it's just like, oh my God. and I'm I feel like this. Okay, he had 38 points last game, but we paying you to duel it out. Their best player had 43. So that means you were short 5. That's how I look at it. I look at it like we was outside hooping at the blacktop. You know what I'm saying? At the court. You don't play any defense. So your sole objective is to come out here and get buckets. and keep this offense moving. When it's stagnant, we should be able to give the ball to you and you get one. Anthony Edwards was doing that, and he was sprinkling defense on top. Luka, he had 6 people. She shot 1 for 8 in the fourth or something like that. 1 for 7 in the fourth.
Yep, that was 1 for 7, 1 bucket.
Yo, and there was a couple of possessions where he would beat his man, and they would catch back up, so he's too slow to get all the way to the rim. So I'm like, maybe he was fatigued. He's not used to playing those type of minutes like how they was pushing him last game. But maybe it was that. But he would break Nas down, and Nas would be able to just catch right back up to him. It's like, I can't get to the rim. Let me just resort to this fade.
They probably slowed him down. I mean, they threw different bodies at him. Nas, Jay McDaniels, Nikhil Alexander-Walker, and they switched a lot of guys on him. So maybe on top of him not playing the entire second half, I think all the guys got worn down because JJ Redick didn't trust his bench, didn't trust his bigs, and that's kind of part of the reason they are where they are. Like
have you ever seen Vanderbilt shoot the ball?
I've seen him shoot. I don't like it.
Oh my god, he hit the jumbotron.
Yeah, I don't like that at all.
Yeah.
But my thing is like,
they keep saying that on TV. He didn't use his bench. I mean, who was going to go to Connect and Gabe Vincent?
At that point, it's like, and the thing was, it almost worked. Like they had the game in fourth quarter. They stopped executing, and stopped making shots, and then the Wolves just kept clamping down.
Let's be honest, y'all saw them refs cheat. They didn't want to see LeBron win. I know y'all are some LeBron haters.
Bro, we gonna say
y'all act like y'all ain't see it.
Bro, we gonna say the ref cheated, man. We gonna do that.
Is the hand upon the ball? Yes or no, John?
We gonna do that.
John,
no, Breon. No, I'm about to give it to you. Breon, you right. What about that turnover where he couldn't inbound the ball? Your man been having trouble inbound the ball.
That's JJ Redick's fault.
Exactly. And that's
as a lifelong LeBron fan, I knew he was going to turn the ball over. I knew it. It's just like when he go to the free throw line. Some games I'm like, he got these, and some games I could look at his face and his demeanor. He started doing this shit with the jersey. I'm like, he gonna blow these free throws, and he missed them bitches. Everybody knows LeBron's weakness. He has a little bit of not like a panic attack. Like, what did you call it when people get nervous? They have this.
Anxiety.
He has that. Now he's mastered over the years, but we watched all his years. We can see it in his eye. I knew he was going to turn that ball over. I was like exhausted from playing a lot of defense. I wouldn't put Breon on his inbound right now. As much as I love Breon, he's going to do a lazy pass right here, and he sure enough did it. But they just out-hustled, and they out-aged. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I got them winning, though, if they beat us.
You got Minnesota beating Golden State in the next round?
Oh, for sure. If they beat us, yeah. Golden State, bro, they're going against the Rockets. Like, they supposed to win. We act like they beating the juggernaut right now. I hate the media. They Golden State do it again, bro. They supposed to beat this teenage team.
This teenage team.
I mean, they got a bunch of kids there, so I hear you on that. So
I ain't gonna lie, Breon. I always say they wet behind the ears. I'm gonna steal that from you, bro. So can I copyright that? The Warriors was always supposed to beat this teenage team.
They
wet
was
behind the ears. They got Similac on their mouth. They don't.
And somebody in your team overachieving.
Oh, whoa, wait a minute! Now I gotta take the last out. What you mean overachieving? We should have beat the Nuggets 4-0.
Hey, Kawhi knee got about what? 6 more quarters in it.
Fuck you!
Come on, man. Kawhi's been amazing since he came.
Breon, you terrible for that, bro. So, John,
I'm bro. Even if y'all get past this round, it's not gonna happen.
So why can't we beat the Thunder?
No.
I'm asking, why can't we beat the Thunder?
Y'all would have, because I feel like y'all would have to play a perfect game to beat the Thunder.
No, we're not Memphis. We got a real coach. We got a real superstar. So that gives us an advantage. Memphis, look, I don't know what you I ain't gonna lie. I know what you think about Ja Morant. I'm not gonna put it on air. Yeah, I know what you think about Ja Morant. All right, then. So, bro, they fired Taylor Jenkins, and they you don't think Ja Morant is all that, bro? Let me say this: regardless of what you think about Kawhi Leonard being hurt, what I'm about to say, I put this on Twitter. I'm gonna say it on here. Kevin Durant. Let me start over. My bad. LeBron James, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Joel Embiid, James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Klay Thompson, Mike Conley at his prime, Zach Randolph. Bro, that's 10 guys I gave you. All 10 of them gonna make the Hall of Fame. Kawhi Leonard took them out. He took them out.
Oh my God.
He took them out. So, bro, all I'm saying is
by the way,
Please let me write his biography when he's done, when he retires.
I will. I know the Pacers beat the Bucks, John. We got
on him so bad.
Why would you shit on Kawhi? What's wrong with Kawhi?
Bro, to me, he's like the most overrated great player ever. I don't know how else to word it. Yo, he was the third best player on the Spurs when they won the chip. He was the third best player on his team. But history has rewritten it as if he led them to the championship.
No, not my history. Not my history, bro. Bro, let me say this.
Second run, everybody was hurt. He had the shot against the Sixers, but everybody was hurt. He had to play the Warriors against Steph and nobody. No. The Sixers were not hurt. The Warriors were hurt. The Sixers had everybody. I said he had the shot against the Sixers. Okay. That shit was lucky too. But yeah, it was. Bro, I give you that. The ball bounced on the rim 5 times. He played the hurt Warriors, bro. Come on. We saw the Warriors against LeBron and Kyrie, and we saw what they do. So we know they was going to beat them Raptors. They was going to beat them Raptors easily. And then we act like Kawhi is just like amazing. I'm like, bro, he is amazing.
He is amazing. You been watching the series?
He does this though. And then he got to make it the whole way for me. He got to make it all the way to the last game.
I hear you have to stay healthy, but let's not act like this dude's not amazing when he is healthy out there. Availability's been an issue. I'll give you that.
Okay. When he's out there, yeah, his career is
So, Bree, let me say this. LeBron James is one of the best players ever.
He is.
Just like Kawhi Leonard, bro. A lot of great players catch breaks. Shaq, John will hate me for this. Shaq and Kobe caught a break. Tim Donahue in 2002 in Game 6 of that Western Conference Finals against the Kings. They caught a break. Mm-hmm. Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. They caught a break in Game 7 against the Pacers in the 98 Eastern Conference Finals. They won the tip ball. Steve Kerr hit a shot. That's not necessarily catching a break, but you had things go your way. All I'm saying is this, bro. Kobe had things go his way. Jordan had things go his way. I'm going to take my glasses off when I say this. So can you find, if we're going to say that about Kawhi Leonard, can you say that your man caught a break when the NBA gave out a stimulus package and suspended Draymond Green in the 2016 NBA Finals?
No, he didn't catch a break.
1,000%.
That was Draymond's fault. He was kicking people.
What is that sack in his face? What do you think he was going to do?
Breon, let me hit you with this.
Is that a break if Draymond intentionally
Yes, it was a break because Bogey got hurt and other things happened. Bro, all I'm saying is this. A lot of great players catch breaks. That's all I'm saying about LeBron. Bro, when Draymond Green got suspended with LeBron, he got suspended for calling him a bitch, right? He got suspended for that. Go look at the
whole reason.
I mean, that's part of the reason. Go. Okay. That's part of the reason. Let me say this. Go look at the 2016 Western Conference Finals and go look at what Draymond Green did to Steven Adams. And I want you to tell me, bro, if you're a grown ass man on the street, would you allow that? Would you allow that SHIT stuff to happen? Hell no. Draymond should have been suspended in the Western Conference Finals. He should have never been suspended in the NBA Finals because he called the man a bitch. And you try to go for the championship, bro. Draymond Green was wrestling Steven Adams. Low blow.
Let us come back.
The was reason Draymond why they came
Game 7 was Draymond.
He was there. He had 32 and 15. He was there.
Oh, so was it enough?
No, it wasn't.
Oh, okay. So then what we talking
about? They lost their best interior defender in Andrew Bogut, lost their best wing defender in Andre Iguodala. You're not gonna act like that don't matter. So
okay. So what happened the year before that? Kyrie was on the verge of a quadruple double.
And Kevin Love and Kyrie got hurt. And I'll give you that. The Cavaliers would have won that championship in 2015. The Warriors would have won in 2016 when Draymond didn't get suspended. All I'm saying is this, yo, that we all these great players catch breaks. They all catch breaks one way or another. And all I'm saying is that, bro, I'm gonna just give you some names who played in the NBA Finals. Dennis Rodman played in the NBA Finals 9 times. He never got suspended. Bro. In 1998, he was wrestling with Karl Malone up and down the floor.
That was allowed. That was allowed. You ain't gonna lie. That was allowed. It was different.
Bro, just because it was allowed, fighting was allowed. And the Knicks and the Heat in the playoffs, guys got suspended. Yeah. Because it was allowed, but you can't do that. All I'm saying is this, bro. All great players catch breaks. That's all I'm saying. They all catch breaks. And what I'm saying is that LeBron James is a great all-time player. Steph Curry is a great all-time player. Kevin Durant, Kobe Bryant, however you want to look at it, they all catch breaks.
They do.
That's all. I just feel like in 2016, that was a break that LeBron caught, and he took advantage of. And that's what he should have done. Kyrie and LeBron took advantage of that opportunity. But it's still a break.
Yeah, but Kawhi get his. They just write his story. Like Kawhi dropped 40, 6 times ever? 5, 4 times?
It's been more than that. Come on, bro. What are you doing? You
Has it? I don't know, bro.
It's been more than that.
It's more. Bro,
it's probably about 6 times he dropped 40. He never dropped 50.
So if you never drop 50, you're not a great player.
Barometer, that doesn't grade, like that doesn't matter. But just comparing him to the Jordans and the LeBrons and the Currys, it just
look at what he does on the defensive side of the ball. Look what he does on the defensive side of the ball. He does that, put up 30, but he also guards your best player. And
but why we accept that? With him, it's like we could always find something we like. But when it's LeBron, it's just or when it's Curry, I just felt like they scrutinize more, and Kawhi just gets all the positivity from it.
Hell no. The biggest name
in
sports.
The only time he was scrutinized was how he got out of the Spurs. That was it.
No, bro. Kawhi Leonard been scrutinized. Bro, Stephen A. Smith went on TV and said the man should retire. Like, bro, like Breon.
He's not the only one. He's not the only one that said that about Kawhi.
So do y'all think you think this year the Clippers can go?
Hey, bro, listen. I picked the Clippers, and I'm riding with that. I'm riding with that pick. Now, I will say this: I'm scared as shit about the Oklahoma City. I ain't even gonna lie to you, because watching them sweep Memphis, especially when they came back from like 25 down, I'm like, Lord have mercy. Why did I do this?
The NBA got to do something about this. Something's wrong. It's cool to come back, but doesn't it feel like it happens too much now?
Too much in the NBA. That's because of the 3-point shot.
A 20-point lead means nothing now in the NBA. It's so easy to come back with how many threes they shoot, how the game's called, how many free throws they shoot down the stretch. It's really nothing to come back from 20 down.
So who's y'all picks right now then?
Before we give our picks, I was just, bro, Breon, you should be sitting in this chair, bro. You great. Yo, we talk too much, but you think just like I think.
I'm so busy, man. I would love to, man. I'll just be so busy. You know, I got the kids and now the little ones.
I know. Let me say congratulations on fatherhood. Say it again.
I appreciate it. I said I'm waiting on y'all, man.
Bro, I got a whole 13-year-old child, bro. I'm good. I'm knee deep in the game.
This dude got a teenager. How about that?
I got a whole teenager in the game. I'm good, bro.
You jumped off the early.
Hey, bro, listen. He been no homo. He been wearing my ass out for years. I'm good, bro. I'm just trying to keep up with him, bro.
You're a young popping father with a 13. That's cool too, though.
Yeah,
young and energetic. You still got you.
It is. I can somewhat keep up with him in a way. So yeah. But bro, listen. Let me say this. I know you got the 2 kids. I know you busy, bro. All joking aside, whenever you want this chair, you got it. I will take 2, 3, 4. Now listen, I will take 2 or 3, 4 vacations just to let you sit in this chair, bro. So you got it. Before we get out of here, we'll give our finals predictions, but we want you to go first. So you don't think the Lakers are going? They about to lose to Minnesota. Who you think will win the East? And now that the Lakers are gone, who you think will win the West?
How long is Drew Holiday out? Is he done?
He is out. We don't have a timetable for that, bro. We don't. I don't know.
It's a hamstring. They don't really know right
now. Something I want is not. So my mind is telling me, Celtics, Timberwolves.
Ooh,
that's what my mind is telling me. I don't like the Thunder. I feel like they kind of can get punked. I haven't seen it all the way done yet. A little bit happened last season. I feel like they can get punked. And I think the Timberwolves the team to do it. You know what I mean? They kind of got that edge that they play with. So I'm gonna roll with it because if you gotta think mentally, you beat LeBron and Luka, you feel like you just got that team morale. We just beat Braun. We ready. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna go with them. And in the East, I do not like the Celtics, bro. I just want to see them lose. But my mind is telling me them. But I'm gonna go Celtics, Timberwolves. But I think the Knicks can give them a 7-game series. I think the Knicks can take the Celtics to a good 7-gamer.
Especially right now with the way they look with no Drew Holiday and like Jaylen Brown's kind of in and out of the lineup. Tatum's coming out that wrist injury. I think the Knicks can definitely do that. They've been playing well against Detroit, so I think they can give them some games.
And then you got Anunoby to throw on. You know, he can go jump on any of their wings, and Bridges can jump on any of their wings. It seems like with the Celtics though, they said that Derek White, Horford, Porzingis thing they got going on. You don't know who. It's hard to coach against that.
No, I agree.
Go ahead, JG. Who you think will be in the NBA Finals? Obviously, we gave our predictions before the playoffs started. You had the Celtics and the Lakers. You had the Celtics and the Lakers, right?
Yeah, the Lakers.
I did. I've been a
That's why we
Laker fan.
lost. You done supported Braun, bro.
I've been a Laker fan all my life. I've been a Laker fan all my life, no matter who comes through.
Oh,
So,
really?
yeah.
I thought you was an anti-Braun guy.
I mean, I'm not a huge LeBron guy. I'm a Kobe guy. I'm still a Laker fan at the end of the day.
But that's good. That's good. All right.
Yeah, man. So I had Lakers and Celtics. That's not looking good right now. I'm going to stick with the Celtics, even though I have my concerns. You know, Cleveland looks amazing. They just beat the living crap out of Miami. You know, and sent them home in style. And the Knicks, like we just talked about, the Knicks can actually give them a run right now. They've been playing hard. They've been playing consistent. I still think that Boston is still the better team. I think as the playoffs continue, they'll get healthy. And they've shown that they have a bunch of guys in their starting lineup and in their bench. I mean, Peyton Pritchard is the sixth man of the year. He can come in and give you 30. We got Sam Hauser, who's another shooter that doesn't get talked about enough. Al Horford has just been amazing. You know, he doesn't age. And Porzingis, I don't really know if there's a big left in the playoffs that can really guard him, at least in the Eastern Conference. I think I don't know about Cat. Defensively, I don't know. Cat can score with him, maybe. I don't know about defensively.
He can cancel him out.
Maybe.
Yeah, cancel him out. Yeah, but let me say this: in order for the Knicks to win, he can't cancel him out. He has to be significantly better than Porzingis for them to win.
And Horford.
And Horford, yeah, exactly. And Horford.
Yeah.
You got.
But let me say, Mitchell Robinson. My bad, JG. Mitchell Robinson and Karl Anthony Towns have to outperform Al Horford and Porzingis if they want to get to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
JG. I'm sorry, bro.
I'll give you that. But no, I'm going to stick with the Celtics in the East. In the West, Breon, that's a good take about Minnesota. I mean, if they take out LeBron and Luka, they feel like they can beat anybody. And they have played tougher. It's a different team with Julius Randle instead of Karl Anthony Towns. I've been watching Julius Randle, pick up Luka, damn near the three-point line. I've never seen him play defense like that in New York. So Randle looks different. DiVincenzo has been really good. I mean, Rudy Gobert, I was telling Josh this before, I'm surprised he has played as much as he has in this series. I didn't think he played that much.
Mm-hmm.
Because I always thought that they would, with the Lakers small ball, they would just render him useless and have him on the bench. But Minnesota looks good. My gut is telling me that Oklahoma City will take the West ultimately. I think this is the year that they overcome, what they learned last year, losing to the Dallas Mavericks the way they did. I think they grew up. They got better in the offseason, getting Caruso, getting Isaiah Hartenstein to get them more experience, a little more toughness in there. I think Hartenstein is going to be great for Chet Holmgren. Caruso has been good for their young guards, and I think Jalen Williams is going to be the X factor. But I think Oklahoma City is going to make a statement and get to the finals. I think maybe against the Clippers, we'll see. But I got OKC right now coming out the West.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I had the Celtics and the Clippers before the playoffs started, and reluctantly, I'm going to stick with that. Now the Celtics, I feel like we all agree the Celtics are the best team in the East. Yeah, they got injuries with Jaylen Brown, they got injuries with Drew Holiday, but I think the overall just know how to get it done, which the Celtics proved last year. They know how to get it done. Plus, they went to the finals in 2022 against the Warriors, so they always have that memory of losing to the Warriors in the NBA Finals on their back. So I feel like the Celtics are the team in the East to get to the finals. I do respect the Cleveland Cavaliers. I do think they have something great going on, but I just think momentarily, I think the Celtics are getting to the finals in the East. Now in the West, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think I'm picking the Clippers, but the best team I've seen in the West is the Oklahoma City Thunder. And again, I'm going back to that game through, and they was down 25, and no Ja Morant got hurt, but Oklahoma City's showing me something. And they showing the world, they like, listen, y'all like Steph, y'all like the Warriors, y'all like LeBron, y'all like Luka, y'all like the Lakers. I might be the only idiot in the world that likes Kawhi Leonard in the Clippers, so I'll add me to that. You might like Ant-Man, but realize, but with Shea and the Thunder, want you to understand, we got the MVP, and we the number one. We've been the number one seed for 2 years. Yes, we lost last year, but we coming back stronger and harder this year. I'm picking the Clippers, but I think the winner of the Clippers and the Thunder series in the second round will win the Western Conference. I'm picking the Clippers. I'm gonna ride with them, but what I seen out the Thunder in the first round, at best for the Clippers, that would be a 7-game series, and Game 7 to be in Oklahoma City.
I think whoever the second, if it's Clippers Thunder, they go up against. It's like whoever plays best out of the second guys. Like, let's just say Luka. Let's just Shea and Kawhi cancel each other out. whoever plays best out of Jalen and Harden, that's gonna be the difference maker. Can Harden not? Can he fighting the demons though? He doing good.
He doing good.
I want to say I want to lean towards James Harden, but we've been here too many times with him before in the playoffs, so it's like.
But I will say this. I will say this about James Harden. Let me say it about James Harden, and I think y'all will understand this. Think about his playoff history. This is the only team he's been on. Yes, he's played on teams with better players, Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, with Oklahoma City, but he was young. This is the only team he has to be. This is the only team he's played on that his scoring is needed, but it's not.
Yeah,
it's not necessarily needed for him to win because you got a Vince Zubac, you got Kawhi Leonard, you got Norman Powell, you got my man Batum, you got guys that can score. So it's not like it's all on him. Whereas though in Houston, it was all on him. He had Chris Paul, he had the White, he had the playmake, he had to do this, he had to do that. In this particular situation, and let me say this is the best coach he's ever played for.
I was just about to say, I think this got back to this is a Ty Lue effect.
Ty Lue effect. So for me,
James Harden has proved. Ty Lue got Ben Simmons being effective, so I hear you on that one.
Yeah, I don't know if he got Ben Simmons being effective offensively. He got him being effective defensively. But I'm saying at the end of the day, like Ty Lue can get him, understand, like, bro, do your job. We got a better player than you that can go out and get his bucket at any point, anytime he wants to. And I'm talking about Kawhi Leonard. Norman Powell can get his own bucket. Let me go back to the Lakers series. The reason why the Lakers are losing to the Timberwolves, yes, LeBron's 40 years old. Luka don't play defense. The guy that was scoring 20 in the regular season named Austin Reeves, who I said I apologize for not being in the YMCA. His ass need to go back to the YMCA because he's not getting 20. He missing shots that he needs to make. Norman Powell was struggling in the first two games against the Nuggets. He's gotten better. Whereas though the Clippers won game 3 and they blew them out, they should have won game 4 if they would have boxed out Aaron Gordon at the end of the game. Can't wait for game 5 Tuesday night TNT, 10 o'clock. So, but my point is that at the end of the day, like, your third option has to score. And my point is Norman Powell getting better. Norman Powell was coming along. You got Zubac.
Should have won 6-man. I mean, not 6-man, most improved. I thought he should have won.
So I feel like I know I picked Cade Cunningham.
Top 3 votes.
He wasn't. And but I can't say he should have been. I can't say he should have been. My point is that I feel like somebody like a Vincent Zubac who went up 5 points, who went up in rebounds, who went up in field goal percentage, who went up in this and that.
Yo, I forgot. He's y'all X factor.
Yes, he is. Hey, Breon, what team did we get a Vincent Zubac from, if you don't mind me asking?
I think, wasn't it Magic still out?
Yes, it was.
You got him from Magic Johnson. You didn't get him from us. You got him from Magic, goofy tail self.
Hey, bro, Breon, don't do that. Magic bleeds purple and gold. Come on, man.
Yeah, he do. But as a GM, he's just good for the media. We just need him talking to people. But don't make no decisions, Magic, again, bro.
So go ahead, Jay.
And we could have had Ty Lue. That's 2 people.
Yeah. Hey, no, my bad. No, that's 3 people. The Lakers drafted Jaden McDaniels. They traded Jaden McDaniels.
I don't even remember that. That's
no,
crazy.
Hey, bro.
Either. Hold on.
I will send it to y'all. They drafted Jaden McDaniels and traded him to Minnesota.
I never knew. That missed me.
Yeah, bro. I'm telling you. Swear to God, no BS, real facts. They drafted Jaden McDaniels and traded him in the draft night trade to I think it was somebody else.
Julius Randle, they drafted Julius.
Lonzo Ball, Julius Randle, Brandon Ingram. So they Caruso. The Lakers definitely drafted well. So, but yeah. So Breon, you have the Celtics and the Timberwolves. JG, you have the Celtics and the OKC Thunder, and I have the Celtics and the Clippers.
All this means is bet against the Celtics now, since we all saying the Celtics.
Yes.
No, for real.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Cleveland Cavaliers are going to win the Eastern Conference. They're going to the finals because we all picked the Celtics. Breon, bro, we want to thank you for coming on this episode of Highly Opinionated, bro. We can't wait to have you back, bro.
I appreciate it, man.
Thank you for coming on, bro. Yo, keep being funny, bro. Keep being you, bro. It's all love, bro. Can't wait to have you back on, bro.
Appreciate y'all. Let me get on here and chat with y'all, man. I watch y'all. I watch all the episodes. You send me the links, man. I'm tuned in. I'm locked in, and I'll be back.
We'll make sure that you will. I'll personally make sure you get this link to this episode. It ain't not better than watching yourself on TV. Trust me, I know.
For sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Once again, thank you, Breon, for coming on. We're taking a quick commercial break. You're watching Highly Opinionated. We'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, this episode of Highly Opinionated is brought to you by Edibly Airy. Enjoy the heightened experience of THC edibles in a whole new way. At Edibly Airy, our freeze-dry edibles available in 100 milligram, 200 milligram, 300 milligram, 400 milligram will give you the buzz you crave with a flavor you won't forget. Available in 3 different flavors: watermelon sunset, tropical fruit, and very berry. To place orders, please visit the website at ediblyairy.com. While you're there at ediblyairy.com, use a promotion code. You guys see the promotion code on the screen. $ Highly Airy, $. Again, $ Highly Airy, $ for 20% off your first purchase. Follow us on IG at Edibly Airy for new product releases and monthly hookups. Must be 21 and over to purchase. Edibly Airy, the best freeze-dry edibles out. Go shop. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Highly Opinionated. It's that time. Ladies and gentlemen, the best guy in UFC and boxing that I know, Dylan. The floor is yours, my brother. Take it away.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Dill's Bangin Breakdown. Josh, John. What's up, guys? Let's do this. We had a great night with the Machado versus Pratas Fight Night 258. That was a crazy fight night, and there was hands thrown all night. The first fight of the night, these two women, Jocelyn Edwards and Chelsea Chandler, they came out throwing hands, and in the first round, Jocelyn Edwards knocked her out. You could tell it was coming. Jocelyn Edwards was way quicker. She looked like she was on a mission as soon as the bell rang. She came out hot. She takedown defense was good. She had a takedown mixed up in there to throw Chelsea Chandler off because Jocelyn Edwards' hands were coming in so fast. She was pouring them in. Combo after combo, and not even halfway, just at 2:31 in the first round, she knocked her out. I saw that coming as soon as the fight started. Good for her. It's coming Monday, Tuesday. Jocelyn Edwards is in the rankings now, taking Chelsea Chandler's rank. Good for her. Next fight in on the prelims, Timmy Chumba versus Roberto Romero. That was a great fight also. Both these guys are throwing hands. Both of them want to win, and that's what I like about these guys who aren't ranked because they need to do that. They have to come in and start hot and keep going hot until you get a knockout or until you get a submission. And round 2, 4 minutes in, Romero got the knockout, and it was a great knockout. His hands were fast. He was more hungry. Good for him. Great fight. Third fight in, women's strawweight bout. Women were actually going pretty crazy. I'm a big fan when they're just going and throwing and getting the subs, and these strawweight women are way more fast than any of the men. So it's good to see them on the ground and really fun to see them on the ground when they're doing all these crazy acrobats and they're flexible and they're throwing these crazy submissions. And Amorim versus Viana. Amorim got if that's how you pronounce it. She got the dub, and the submission was pretty crazy. That was cool. Good for her. Welcome to the UFC, Malcolm Wellmaker. It was his first fight on the UFC. He's not too far out of Atlanta, Georgia. He's still working Monday through Friday. He's hard working in the gym. His coaches say he's the best they've seen coming out of this small gym recently, and he's one of the most hungry they've seen and focused and dialed in. And welcome to the UFC because he just knocked out Cameron Simon in the first round, and he wanted a first-round knockout, and he needed it, and it was a good knockout. He had a mean right hand to Cameron Simon and put him down, slumped him. Welcome to the UFC. Welcome to the UFC. He got a performance of the night, which is $50,000. He said he was quitting his job if he wanted if he had a knockout. He was quitting his job Monday morning and going full-time UFC. Congrats to him. He is nasty. He looked so good on the distance. He was switched from southpaw to orthodox, and he was throwing kicks, high kicks. Keep an eye out for Malcolm Wellmaker. He called for the Atlanta card in 2 months. I believe it's in June. They're fighting in Atlanta, Georgia. And he said he's roughly 2 hours outside. And the way he fought on Saturday night, he is ready to fight in June. So put him on that card in his hometown and let him get another win and climb them rankings and get into the rankings. Good for him. Malcolm Wellmaker, keep an eye out for him. Next fight, bantamweight. My guy Blackshear got the dub. Unanimous decision, went full 15, but he looked spectacular in those 15. And he really did. The guy he fought, I can't really pronounce his name, but he worked him the whole entire 15 minutes. He was bloody. Blackshear kept the distance, did what he had to do, threw kicks, threw takedowns. Good for him. I've always said keep an eye on Blackshear, and still keep an eye on Blackshear. Split decision, not a fan of him. You know that. The next fight in, Gutierrez versus Castinda. Not a fan. Both of them look crisp. There still wasn't enough thrown between either of them. I'm going to need to see something more out of the next fight of either of them. Not even going to talk on it because I wasn't impressed with just what they did. So, same with the next fight also. Evan Elder versus Gage Young. Big fan of Gage Young. He's cool. He throws down. Evan Elder throws down also. It did go the full 15, but I still need to see more out of him. Evan Elder is he's actually 10-2 in the UFC. He's not bad, but I need to see more out of both those guys also. None of them in the rankings. You need to do something in the lightweight division and move on up. What do you think the last fight on the prelims was? Unanimous decision. It's actually pretty good with them. Matt Schnell's very, very well-rounded in all aspects of the UFC, from jiu-jitsu to Thai to grappling. He's very fast. That went the full 15. So it's pretty cool that you got to watch 3 long fights back-to-back, but more entertainment from all of them. Matt Schnell, good job getting the dub. I'm a fan of him. First fight in on the main card. I'm a fan. I love KOs to get the fight card started. Ikram versus Andre Muniz, and that was a very good one. Round 1, he beat Muniz up the whole entire first round. He was bloody, got him to the end. He saw his opponent weak, and he just kept pushing and pushing and pushing, ground and pounds. Ikram can grapple. He's in the middleweight division. He's very good, well-rounded also, but his hands are heavy, and he pushes forward. He's Russian, of course, so he's not going to stop, so keep an eye out for him. Big fan of him. Next fight, Randy Brown versus Nicholas Dalby. That was a crazy fight, too, because round 1, these boys were throwing hard. Both of them at one point in the first round were stumbling and did look like they could have been finished in the first round. And after the first round, Randy Brown came out and said, I'm done with this. I don't want to get hit anymore. And he finished Dalby at 1 minute and 40 seconds into the 2-minute round. And he put Dalby flat down on his face. He walk-off KO. And Randy Brown's nasty. We all know he is. He's quick. He's lanky. He's switched fighter. He knows what he's doing on the ground also. Big fan of Randy Brown. After that fight, he's 20-6 in the UFC. He's still climbing. Good for him. I'm a big fan of Randy Brown. Next fight, Michel Pereira versus Abus Magomedov. We knew Magomedov was going to win, even if it went to the decision, which it did. But Michel Pereira is a big-time fighter. He's very fast, too. Surprised. Actually, I'm not surprised he lost. The grappling was just overpowered by Magomedov. Held him down pretty much the whole time. Good for him. We'd love to see the finish or submission, but good for him. Featherweight, Giga versus David. That was a good fight, too. Unanimous decision, 15. It was cool. David Onama won. Oh, he's fast. Nothing to say on that one, really. I would love to see him finish something. But congrats to him. Keep an eye out for him. He took the ranking of Giga, I bet. Next fight, lightweight. I was so ready for this. After seeing his career prior and watching all the videos and highlights, Anthony Smith it has had some great fights in the UFC, but the past 3 years for him have been downhill. I'm glad he retired on Saturday. His last fight, he got KO'd in the first round. He should have never fought this guy, Ming Yang. Ming Yang is hungry, young. Anthony Smith is old, stepping stone. Performance of the night by Ming Yang. Went out and knocked Anthony Smith out in the first round. Good for him. Anthony Smith retired. Stick to announcing now. We don't have to talk about him. Main fight, Ian Machado Gary versus Carlos Pratas. Carlos Pratas is part of those Fighting Nerds crew out of Brazil, I believe, the gym. And they were on like a 20-0 run for the Fighting Nerds out of all like 5 fighters. And Ian Gary worked Carlos Pratas. Ian Gary is the real deal. Ian Gary's the backup fighter in 2 weeks up in Canada for the welterweight bout versus Belil and Jack Della Maddalena, which is going to be a crazy fight. But Ian Machado Gary is the real deal. He's taken back-to-back fights on the UFC in short notice within 2 or 3 weeks, and he has won both those fights. And he looked absolutely spectacular on Saturday night. That was a great fight by him. He came in and beat up Rachmanov before that. He came up and he'd lost to Rachmanov, but he came and beat up Michael Venom Page right before that, which is everybody wanted MVP to just dominate the division, but he didn't. But Ian Gary looked absolutely great. Whoever doesn't make weight next week in 2 weeks in that title fight, I hope Ian Gary fights him, or whoever wins, Ian Gary's fighting the winner of that. Congrats to Ian Gary. He looked great. All right. A little fight night coming up. The Sandhagen and Figueiredo. This is going to be a good one. Fight night 259. I'm a big fan of all these guys. This whole card is pretty stacked with great women's fight and men's fight. Prelims, great fights. Ryan Lauder versus Azamat Bikov, which is a great fight. We know the Russians throw down. Big heavyweight bout to start the night out too. Jeez, Deontay Mays. He's a pretty good. I like him versus Thomas Peterson. I'm not a fan of the heavyweights, but I'm a big fan of Deontay Mays. Watch out for that fight to start out with. That's good. Main card. We got some scrappers on here. I'm not sure how they threw this card together. I guess the top 3 fights to look out for are the last 3 on the main card, even though Jeremy Stevens versus Mason Jones to start the prelims or to start the main event card out is a pretty banging fight. I like Jeremy Stevens in that one. You got Cameron Smotherman versus Sydney. He's actually pretty crazy too. Soraya City, he's pretty good, but Cameron Smotherman, we've seen him fight pretty fast. That'll be a great fight. Look out for that one. Let's talk about this. De Ridder versus Bo Nickel. We haven't seen Bo Nickel fight in a while. Bo Nickel is a very hyped up person, very hyped up grappler. We have seen Bo Nickel knock people out. Bo Nickel's last fight was against Paul Craig, and he beat up Paul Craig, which is cool. Unanimous decision, but he beat up Paul Craig the whole time. Before that, Cody Brundage, he beat up Cody Brundage in a submission. We knew that was coming. Before that, he beat up Woodburn by a KO 40 seconds in. So whether he was hype upcoming, Bo Nickel is the real deal coming out of Penn State, and we knew Bo Nickel was going to be the real deal. So that's going to be a crazy fight right there. Renier De Ridder versus Bo Nickel. Both of them coming off a dub. Both of them are crazy grapplers. Both of them can throw down. De Ridder has a reach on him, 2 inches, but that Bo Nickel gets in there. So that's a crazy one. I'm going Bo Nickel on that one. And the main fight on this one, you got Cody Sandhagen versus Davison Figueiredo, former champ of the bantamweight division. Corey Sandhagen, former title challenger in the bantamweight. The style matchup between them two, I'm pretty sure, is grappling Figueiredo versus long and lanky Sandhagen. Height, Sandhagen's 5'11", Figueiredo is 5'5". That's crazy. Actually, the reach isn't only 2-inch reach advantage, but Sandhagen just looks long and lanky. It's going to be a great fight. Figueiredo, I'm a big fan of. But also Sandhagen. But I'm going to go Sandhagen on this one. I hope he knocks him out. Either if it's going to go to the ground, I think Sandhagen's going to get the submission also. Both of them really cool fighters. Keep an eye out for that one. Enough on that little talk about the upcoming fight nights. The Muhammad versus JDM and Ian Gary backup fighter. That wasn't promised Ian Gary unless he came out and dominated on Saturday night, which he did. So I'm very excited about that. The Muhammad versus JDM is going to, the Muhammad versus JDM May 10th is going to be a crazy fight. JDM is hungry. Belal's on a crazy fight win streak, though, and has already fought the best of the best. JDM's resume, he hasn't really fought the best of the best. That's going to be a crazy one. Usman versus Buckley, June 14th. Stepping stone for Buckley. They announced this. Even though Kamaru Usman said he wasn't coming back to the octagon until he was completely ready, and a year off right now in his 2 bad knees, I still don't think he's completely ready for Joaquin Buckley to come in and do something. We'll see. That's going to be a good fight, though. Joaquin Buckley's climbing them rankings, and he's on a hot streak. Keep an eye on him. Also, June 7th, they just talked about Merab Dvalishvili versus the O'Malley 2, Newark, New Jersey. That's going to be a crazy one. I hope O'Malley takes that win. He's definitely trained and learned from that last fight between him and Dvalishvili. That's going to be a good one. And then we also heard this past weekend with the Dustin Poirier and Max Holloway BMF. It's going to be Dustin Poirier's last fight. Thank God. He is old. He has fought so many. It is going to be down in New Orleans, his hometown, which is pretty cool that he gets to retire there. Good for him. But this is their 3rd fight. I'm not even sure why they're fighting again. Maybe just for that Dustin wants to take that BMF title and retire with something because he never had the belt to retire with. Because if so, he would have done it. That'd be a good one to look out for. And I guess we'll just keep an eye on these upcoming fights and see what happens. I hope some more news breaks on John Jones and Tom Aspinall. Dana White said that is the fight coming up this summer. And he also mentioned that the Dricus du Plessis versus Hamzat Chimaev fight is definitely going to happen this year also. So the rest of this year is stacked with fights. I am looking forward to it. I hope everybody is looking forward to it. And thank you guys. We will see you next week on Dill's Bangin Breakdowns. Have a good one, everybody.
Dylan, my guy, thank you very much, man. Love your contribution to the show. Can't wait to have you back on next week. John, I'm gonna talk to Dylan, man. We're gonna have to get some UFC parlays, man. This guy he is on it with his predictions, man. He know what he's talking about, brother. Can't wait to have you back on next week, Dylan. Go ahead, Jay.
I'm saying legend in the making. Shout out Dylan, bro.
Yeah, Dylan definitely is. Dylan, listen, you can have this seat, bro. Whenever you're ready, you can have this seat. It is yours for free. You got it whenever you want it, bro. You're an amazing contribution to the show, man. Thank you for everything that you do. Our last topic, NBA playoffs, bro. Since we last seen you guys, a lot of things have happened since we seen you with the NBA playoffs. So, just so far, what's your thoughts about the playoffs? How you think about teams that have moved on? The Oklahoma City Thunder swept the Memphis Grizzlies 4-0. They moved on to the Western Conference semifinals. The Cleveland Cavaliers dominated the Miami Heat in Game 4. Game was never close. Series was really, truly never close. The Cleveland Cavaliers swept the Miami Heat and made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. We have the Boston Celtics up 3-1. They have a chance to close out. We have the Indiana Pacers up 3-1 against the Milwaukee Bucks. They have a chance to close out. Let me say this. You guys might watch this, might think I've been very critical of Damian Lillard. I never thought he was a superstar. I always thought he was a very good player. Let's send prayers to Damian Lillard. He tore his Achilles, man. It's a terrible situation. Terrible situation in Milwaukee. I'm sure you'll get to that in a second. But Indiana's up 3-1. Boston's up 3-1. The New York Knicks are up 3-1. If we expect all three of those teams to win, your second round will be Cleveland and Indiana and Boston and New York in the East.
If I can, man, let me just go down the line. Like these playoffs have been electric. I mean, it's been fun. It's been fun to watch. Viewership is up high from the regular season as it should be. It's been fun. It's been fun to watch. I mean, Knicks Pacers. I mean, it takes you back to like
Knicks Pistons.
Knicks Pistons. It takes you back to like the old Knicks Pistons, like how the guys are fighting every other play, pushing and shoving. There's hard fouls. Guys are just getting up and getting to the free throw line without a bunch of BS. Like there's reps are letting them play. Like, and the better physical team is winning. Like I mean, Jalen Brunson he looked like Kobe in the fourth quarter against the Pistons. Got hurt. His ankle, rolled his ankle and everything, came back and like just ended up dropping 15 in the fourth quarter. Karl Anthony Towns is showing me something. Like, the guy, I question his with the physicality of Detroit bother him. It hasn't. He's played big. He's played strong. And you and I have been questionable about that with him, but he's played really strong. Oklahoma City is. I'm not ready to say sending a message, but they kind of sent the message by beating up on Memphis the way they did,
and Cleveland as well. Both number one seeds in the East and the West are sending messages.
Yes, and even the Cleveland Cavaliers have started to send a message. I still don't believe in them, but they did make a strong statement, and they're moving on. I've got some concerns about the Boston Celtics. I don't think the margin is as wide as I once thought. Though the injuries to Drew Holiday and Jaylen Brown, Tatum obviously came back, but Drew Holiday's been out for a couple of games. He's gonna miss another one tonight with that hamstring. Jaylen Brown's been a little hampered with an injury of his own. Without those guys at full strength, I think the Knicks can actually make it a series with Boston. I don't think, and I'm not sure they beat Cleveland without Drew Holiday and a fully healthy Jaylen Brown. I'm not sure. They probably could. They still got a lot of talent. They still got Tatum. They still got Horford, who's playing amazing. They got the sixth man of the year in Peyton Pritchard. They've got Porzingis, of course, who's the ultimate X factor in my opinion. But I think the two guys that are hampered with injury, it makes it a little tougher. So we're going to see how that plays out, assuming that they get out of the series quicker than later with Orlando. Lakers and Wolves, man. Minnesota, I don't think anybody saw this. Jaden McDaniels, I didn't see that coming. The way that he's performing on both sides of the ball. I mean, this guy is defending, and he's effective on offense. He's knocking down threes. Rudy Gobert is still in the series playing meaningful minutes. I didn't think Rudy Gobert was going to play much in this series. I got to be honest. I didn't think Rudy was going to play much in this series because we just saw what this very guy named Luka Doncic did to that man in Minnesota last year with Dallas.
Different team.
That's fair. I get it, but it's still the same like switching off matchup. Rudy Gobert's been holding his own. He's been playing great defense. He's been able to stay on the floor and not be a liability when I really thought that he probably would be because of how effective the LA's small ball has been. LeBron James has been amazing. Has been unbelievable on defense. But the deficiencies, the concerns that I had with the Lakers going in are rearing their ugly head. The interior defense. Minnesota is driving the basketball. Julius Randle has been an absolute bulldog. They're backing him down, taking him to the basket, and just wearing down the Lakers, close to the basket. Austin Reeves, that question starts to come up. I mean, look, Austin Reeves, you had a great regular season. The playoffs, it's been some shots that you were wide open. You shouldn't make. Looking
like that YMCA play I was talking about, huh? Looking like that, huh?
And this ain't the first time we've seen this.
I know.
The playoffs was the first thing. So where you at, bro?
I know.
I gotta look at Austin Reeves like, come on, man. We seen what you did in the regular season. Now you can't tail off wide open shots in the playoffs. Now those are the ones you gotta make. Just keep going down the line. Are we seeing the end of the Giannis Antetokounmpo era in Milwaukee as we speak? Obviously, Damian Lillard. I hated this for him so much because he battled so hard to come back from blood clots in that same leg. Like most people ain't coming back from that for the playoffs. He worked his ass off trying to get back, and so it's tough for me to see a great player like that go through all that just to come back with another catastrophic injury. And at this stage in his career, it's really catastrophic because it's going to be a lot harder for him to recover. I don't know if he plays next season because, as we know, the Achilles is such a devastating injury. I went through it myself. It takes a legit year to come back. Like, it's not a joke. It takes a legit year to come back. Surgery, no surgery, whatever you want to do. You need time. So I don't know if Damian Lillard is going to be back for next year. So Giannis, if I'm Giannis Antetokounmpo, I'm looking around like I'm not going to win here. I got to be honest. I'm not sure if I'm going to really win here. Where can I possibly go that will give me the best chance to win championships? Milwaukee's tried. It's not like Milwaukee has not tried. But what they're doing has not really helped Giannis.
I mean, bro, you said so much good stuff there. I mean, a lot of the stuff I just would say I agree. Let me say this. Karl Anthony Towns, I've been critical, called him kitty cat. And they are playing the Detroit Pistons. I don't have that much faith in the Pistons. I didn't think the Pistons would I thought it would be a 5-6 game series. So my jury on Karl Anthony Towns being called kitty cat is actually when they play Boston and Cleveland. It's not when they play Detroit. They should beat Detroit. But I will give him his credit. 27-9 the last game, 31-8 the game before that. So Karl Anthony Towns is playing good.
Well. Detroit's playing well, man. There's a couple of games they should have won.
Exactly. The one game that they lost, he only had 11 shots. He only had 10 points. So I think I want to see Karl Anthony Towns against the Celtics and the Cavaliers before I get away from that kitty cat. But I will say he's playing the way I want him to play. When they have Tobias Harris sticking him, he is not shooting all them threes. He's shooting some threes. He putting Tobias Harris on his back, and he's saying, Tobias Harris, you can't do nothing about that. I'm just too big, too strong, too tall for you. So I like that. Let's see. Again, we think the Knicks will win. I know the Pacers are struggling right now, but I think the Pacers will win that series, and I think the Celtics will beat Orlando. I heard you say about the Celtics. You don't know about Jrue Holiday and Jaylen Brown. I think the Celtics will be fine. I still think the Celtics will get to the still get to the NBA Finals. I think they'll beat the Cavaliers in the Eastern Conference Finals, probably in 6. So I just have faith they have championship DNA, and I just feel like their players know how to in that moment more than the Cavaliers. The Cavaliers could beat the Heat, and they could beat the Pacers. The Pacers are an offensive team. They really, they play a good offensive team. They don't believe in defense. So I think that the Cavaliers will be fine with that. I think it'll be the Cavaliers and the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. I think the Celtics will win that. Now switching over to the West. I love you, my brother. I just wanted to say that because you mentioned the Lakers in the Timberwolves series, and you didn't hit me with the grand scheme of what I said before the playoffs started. So I'll do it. I'm not going to do it this week because I'm going to let the series finish. If the Minnesota Timberwolves continuously look how they look and they beat the Lakers, next week on the show I have an announcement. I will owe Anthony Edwards an apology. I'll just leave it at that. We'll show the clip and then we'll get to that point. I'll just leave it at that. I owe an apology because what I've seen so far, he's the best player in that series. So, and if you're the best player in the series with Luka and LeBron, then you must be something that I didn't think that you were. So we will talk about that next week. He has to finish the job. Put your hands down. We got to finish the job, and then we'll get to that point. But he playing how he playing. Y'all see how he playing, so I'll just leave it at that. I want to give a shout out. I want to talk about the Memphis and the OKC series. First of all, let me start with OKC. The Oklahoma City Thunder. Most people in the West picked the Lakers. They picked the Warriors. They picked the Clippers like I did. The Oklahoma City Thunders are showing you we're the number 1 seed for a reason. Believe in us. They were down 25 on the road in game 3. Came back and won that game.
Ja Morant got hurt though, man.
I know, I understand that. But you still got to have the vitriol and the fortitude to come back. Yes, Ja Morant got hurt. I understand that. But the heart, the resilience that the Thunder showed, that ain't got nothing to do with Ja Morant. That's in them. That's the heart that they had. I love what the Thunder have shown. Like I mentioned earlier, the Cavaliers have shown like we're the number 1 seed. Y'all don't respect us. Like what's going on here? So
I still don't.
I know, and I get that. I let me say this. I think you'll respect them more once they get to the conference finals and you actually see them against Boston. Not saying you didn't watch the regular season games. I know you do, bro. But when you see them and they're serious against the Celtics, then you can be like, okay, this is what they have. This is their strengths. This is their weaknesses. So this is what they need to improve in. You know, this is what they're strong in, etc. Whatever. So my point is that I think that'll be the Eastern Conference Finals. Celtics, Cavs. The Oklahoma City Thunder, again, they have to do it to show us, but I'm watching them. I'm like, man, these guys look focused. They look hungry. I'm going to tell you who they remind me of. You're going to laugh. They remind me of the 2009 Lakers. Now, I'm not saying they're going to win championship, but they remind me of that. They lost in the finals, got blown out in the finals to the Celtics in 2008, and that's kind of what happened to the Thunder last year in the second round. Got blown out. They got dispersed by the Dallas Mavericks. They got dispersed, disposed, however you want to look at it. Dallas really carved them up. They improved the roster. They went out and got Alex Caruso. They went out and got Isaiah Hartenstein. So I think the Thunder putting everybody in the West who don't believe them on notice, like, bro, listen, we're the number 1 seed. We're going to show you we're the number 1 seed, and we're going to keep doing that. And I think their next series, whoever they play, the Clippers or the Nuggets, if they win that series, then people will really be like, okay, this team is legit. Like, okay, they beat the Clippers with Kawhi. They beat the Nuggets with Jokic. They're really legit. So I think that'll be where the Thunder get their love at. Now, let me go to the team that the Thunder beat. The Memphis Grizzlies. The Memphis Grizzlies need to trade Ja Morant. They need to trade him. You can't win with a knucklehead like that. He's a great player. He's a great player. But his focus isn't on basketball; it's on other things. He wants to be something. He wants to be something other than a basketball player. You have Desmond Bane, you have Scottie Pippen Jr., you have Jaren Jackson. Trade Ja Morant, get a boatload of picks, get a boatload of whatever you can get, players/picks, and then build your team up that way. For me, since Ja Morant 2.5 years ago said, "I'm good in the West," he was sitting down with Malika Andrews. The man said, "I'm good in the West." They ain't been to no conference finals. I don't even think they've been out the first round. No, they've been out the first round one time. Because they beat Ant-Man in Minnesota. They were catting them, and they shouldn't have beat them. But they've been to the second round one time. This is a man who said he's good in the West. I think the Memphis Grizzlies need to trade Ja Morant, get the assets that they can get for him, build an actual team. You have Desmond Bane, you have Scottie Pippen Jr., you have Zaire Williams, and you have Jaren Jackson. You have Jaren Jackson Jr. You can build the team up that way. Trade Ja Morant, get some guys in there that basketball is the end-all, be-all, and let's rock out.
Gosh.
Yes.
I gotta be honest, man. I don't disagree with you.
Mm-hmm.
For the moment, I was like, "What the hell are you talking about?" But then the more I thought about it, That's not a bad call by Memphis. It's not even just because of the off the court issues. It's at this point availability. The way that Ja Morant plays is a lot like AI used to play, and I love it. I love AI. I mean, shit, I got his jersey on right now, but that's a dangerous way to play basketball, and especially with his athleticism. I mean, look at the injuries he's had: lower body injuries, shoulder injuries, hip. He has a crazy hip injury nowadays. He can't even walk right now. He has not been available for this Memphis Grizzlies team, and they played well without him. There's a stat where they actually have a very good record playing basketball without Ja Morant. It gets to the point where we're kind of used to watching them without him, and you add that on top of the knucklehead stuff that goes on off the court. You know him, and to play devil's advocate, the thing with the celebrations in the NBA.
No, I don't care about that. I don't care about that.
Yeah, like that. But they're kind of trying to add that in with the whole knucklehead persona. Like, get rid. Be over that, man.
Let me just say this, and now I'm gonna cut you off. When I'm criticizing him, I'm not criticizing a gun seller. I don't care about that. Like, would I do that? No, but I don't care about that. My problem with him is that it's basketball. John, we went to school together. I knew basketball was everything you wanted to be. I knew that. So when me and you hung out, I knew like I couldn't be a fool and get this man in trouble. Because not only am I gonna have to deal with him, I'm gonna have to deal with his subordinates, his people that really want him to be great. I don't think Ja Morant ain't got friends like that. He got yes men. That's what, like, for example, I always say, and you know this, if you got to where you wanted to be, I'm not a yes man. You know that. You know that about me. Like, I'm like, all right, listen, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do, you know me. You know how I get. So, like, he doesn't have that. And like, for me, like, he's a great player, but his deficiencies are, he has 3 deficiencies. He can't shoot. Like, he cannot shoot. You can leave him open. You can go under the pick and roll. And the second deficiency is basketball your number one passion. That's the second deficiency. And the third deficiency, like you said, bro, he's hurt. So if you're hurt, I have to question your basketball love, and you like kind of do knucklehead things. Desmond Bain got better when Ja Morant got hurt. He worked on his handling. He worked on his ball handling. He worked on his passing. He worked on his defense.
Scottie Pippen Jr. looks good. Like when he's not there. Scottie Pippen Jr. looks like a starting point guard in the NBA.
Or at worst, he could be a 6 man. Come out the bench, give you 15, maybe not 15, 20 points a night, but he can give you maybe 12 to 15 points on a given night. So I'm just saying, like, off the bench. I'm just saying, like, for me, I like Memphis. I like what they have. But Ja Morant said he was good in the West. If you say you good in the West, then you should get to the Western Conference Finals at least once. You have not. And the reason why you haven't got to the Western Conference Finals, in part, because of your shenanigans. That's why they fired Taylor Jenkins. So I think the Memphis Grizzlies need to trade Ja Morant so that franchise can take the next step of where they need to be and get a star player in there that basketball is everything. Everything to him.
I look at Atlanta and try to get Trae Young if I'm Memphis.
You would do a trade for Josh swap straight up?
Yeah. Maybe picks will probably be involved, but I like Trae Young with Memphis.
I don't think that's a bad idea. I don't think that's a bad idea at all. So we mentioned OKC and Memphis. We mentioned the Lakers and the Timberwolves. Again, I'll give Anthony Edwards his flowers next week if he continuously does what he does. I will say I agree with you. I did not think Minnesota was going to win the series. I will say, though, I didn't believe in the Lakers. I never did. I thought they were a defensive liability, and they've shown that. And they don't have the depth that they need to compete in that series with Minnesota. Minnesota's too tall. Paul's too long for them. So I just feel like they're just a bad matchup for the Lakers. Now, the Golden State Warriors. I think
Can I say one thing about it? Can I say one last thing about it?
Go ahead.
I'm not comfortable yet in counting this series out. Like something.
I'm not either. I'm not. That's why I don't want to give Anthony Edwards his flowers right now. I want the series to end before I do that. Go ahead, though, bro.
Something is telling me that the Lakers could possibly push this to a Game 7, and it's going to start with what I see tomorrow night via highlights or whatever. They're probably going to win tomorrow night at home because they're favored by 5.5 right now on ESPN bet. That's going to be a lot of pressure to going back to Game 6 in Minnesota. If Minnesota does not close it out in Game 6, they are in trouble.
I think Minnesota will probably win Game 6. I hope Minnesota learn from Game 2. Minnesota could have won Game 2. I mean, it wasn't like I know the Lakers won it, but Minnesota started out slow. They have to start out bad.
Lakers didn't play all that well in Game 2, but Minnesota just didn't get off the bus until like the second half.
Exactly. Like mid-second quarter, but really second half, and then that was the end of the game. So,
yeah,
I think Game 5, the way they start, that'll tell everything we need to know about how they get down. As far as for me and you with the, as far as with the Houston Rockets and the Golden State Warriors series, we both called that. I think the Rockets are a very good team, or a good team. They're wet behind the ears, though. They haven't had playoff experience. You can see that with Jalen Green. Good game. He'll have a terrible game. Good game. Terrible game. Terrible game. He doesn't have the playoff experience that he needs to go against a team that has Jimmy Butler, who's been in the playoffs. He's been to the NBA Finals. Jimmy Butler been to the NBA Finals twice. Draymond Green, Steve Kerr, Stephen Curry, even Kevin Looney. I know Kevin Looney don't play like that. He has final experience. He has experience that the Houston Rockets just simply doesn't have. So I think the Warriors will find a way to win that series. I think we'll have Warriors, judging off how it's looking, we'll have Warriors Timberwolves in the second round, and we'll have Thunder Clippers in the second round. I'm still riding with my Clippers. I know we tied 2-2. I'm not giving it up. Game 5. Biggest Game 5 of my life is Tuesday. We're airing the show Tuesday, so it's tonight, 10 o'clock on TNT. You guys make sure you watch. I will be up watching, tweeting, seeing how it goes. But I think the Clippers will find a way to win. This is the only thing I'm going to say about the Clippers. We should have won the series 4-0. We should have won Game 1. We should have won Game 4. The guy, Aaron Gordon. Bro, goddamn, Aaron Gordon couldn't be boxed out. We couldn't box him out.
He was like, bro, from 1984, Houston, University of Houston.
Yeah, in North Carolina State.
Yep.
Yeah, Valvano, North Carolina State. I was like, all right, cool.
I was like, yo, he really did that.
Remember Valvano was looking around the court like, we won? Okay, we won. Yeah. Like, that's how I felt watching that Game 3 on Saturday. So, but I think the Clippers will find a way to win that series. I think in the West, we'll have OKC versus the Clippers, and we'll have Minnesota versus the Warriors. Your thoughts on that? Agree, disagree?
No, I'm with you. I'll go and say it. Jimmy Butler's been a godsend for the Warriors. And I got to tell you, this may be a subject for a later show, but if LeBron James gets bounced out and Steph Curry somehow gets to the West Finals, maybe the NBA Finals, dare I even say win the championship, I think it might start some new discussions that a lot of people may not want to have, that might not be comfortable with. I'm just saying. I'm
gonna give you 2.
We're not there yet, obviously.
We're not there yet.
But I'm just saying.
I'm gonna give you 2 that I'm gonna give you. So essentially, what you're saying is what I said, that if Curry wins this championship or gets to the finals, you can legitimately say this is the Steph Curry era. You can say that. Like, there is no debating that. It is the Steph Curry era.
Why doesn't Steph Curry get more go conversation talk?
You can mention that as well.
Look at
when I say he's the
we talk about this. We talk about teams that LeBron's had. Well, look at this team that Steph Curry had. Jimmy Butler didn't play the other night.
Still won.
They found a way to win, and why was that?
Steph Curry and Steve Kerr, but mainly
great coach, absolutely Steve Kerr. Hall of Fame player in Draymond Green, who knows Steph Curry. That matters. But that's a big deal to me when I see a guy like Steph Curry, who's not physically imposing by any means like LeBron James. Obviously the weapon that he has shooting the basketball is better than anyone we've ever seen. But he's not a physically imposing guy. Like, guys are trying to beat him up, blitz him on the ball screens, get physical with him, make kind of wear him down. He hasn't backed down, shot away, or even shown any signs of like wearing down. He's still coming back and knocking threes whenever he sees a little bit of airspace. So Curry's able to take this team and I think he has a legit chance to take this team to the West Finals.
I definitely do.
I really do. And Draymond Green deserves a lot of credit for saying what he said during the All-Star break. When everyone thought the Warriors done, dead in the water, that they have a chance to get back to the finals. I'm just saying it's possible. It'd be a hell of a story if that happens.
No, you're right. Draymond went on TNT and said, we're going to the West. At worst, we're going to the Western Conference Finals. Well, no, he said we're going to win the championship. But I know I'm putting my phrase on it. Essentially, he said, with Jimmy Butler, we're a contender now. We're going to the Western Conference Finals. And I never agreed or disagreed with that because the West, to me, it was all about matchups. It was all about bracket. Once you saw the bracket, then you can say, and the East is a little different. We knew Cleveland and Boston are the two best teams. The Knicks are, you could say, are the third best team, but I think most people would take the Cavaliers and the Celtics over the Knicks. In the West, it was all about matchups. So, Draymond Green, I know he was your defensive player of the year. Shout out to Evan Mobley. Shout out to Peyton Pritchard, won sixth man of the year. Shout out to Evan Mobley, won defensive player of the year. So shout out to those guys. They won that. But Draymond Green has showed his work, showed his value, showed what he needs to show show how great he is. But this Warriors team, man, they can definitely get to the Western Conference Finals.
They're undersized. They're the offensive talent doesn't really blow you away, but it's like guys are stepping up. Brandon Podziemski and Buddy Hield are like giving you 20-something points in a playoff game. Draymond is doing Draymond things, being modern day Dennis Rodman, quite frankly. And Jimmy Butler is just like fitting so seamlessly with this team. And I had questions about how he would fit because I knew how Golden State played over the years. They've changed this offense that allows Jimmy to be Jimmy, and it gives Steph Curry so much rest on offense. It's fit so well that you tell me why you don't have confidence in this team.
You should have confidence in the Warriors. They have championship DNA. They have guys that have been to the finals. They have a coach that's a championship coach. So they have everything that you're looking for. The one thing I will say, I think at some point in time, they need to play Jonathan Kuminga a little bit more. They will need his size. They will need his athleticism to get to where they ultimately trying to go. But as of now, I think they'll beat. We both picked Golden State to beat Houston. I remember the last game of the season we were texting. It was the Clippers and the Warriors. Whoever lost that game was going to be the 7th seed. I didn't care if the Clippers lost that game because I thought they could beat Houston. Like I wasn't surprised. I wouldn't be because I just think that again, Houston is wet behind the ears. They're learning. Next year, the year after that, okay, there'll be a problem. They might make a trade for Kevin Durant, or Giannis Antetokounmpo, etc. Somebody like that could get them to the next level. But right now, I just never thought that. I just thought that Houston was wet behind the ears. And when you wet behind the ears, it takes you time. It takes growth in the playoffs to win, and that's what they had to do. So, to me, the best series has been the Clippers and the Nuggets. But the most entertaining series, the series that you want to watch and see how things are being played and guarded is the Rockets and the Warriors. You got Dylan Brooks, you got Draymond Green, you got Steph Curry. See how they playing Steph Curry. You got Steve Kerr, Ime Udoka. So, man, it's been a great playoff.
Lakers Wolves have been up there too for me, man. Even though the Wolves have pulled out, the way that they've won, it's like the Lakers had them numerous times in the fourth quarter for a couple of games, and showed you something. Showed what I knew he had. Say, hey, I can do this. You know what I mean? I can. We ain't done yet because they got me, and he done showed you a couple times now. So it's like he got to do it again. He's got to do it again to close the deal. I'm with you. Come on, man.
I'm gonna say this again. If he closes this series, let me just say this: the Timberwolves are up 3-1. I'm just gonna say this, and then I'll end the show with this because this will lead me if he wins. This is what I have to do next week. If Anthony Edwards wins this series, he would have beat Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, LeBron James, and Luka Doncic in the playoffs. I'll just leave it at that. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you guys for watching episode 35 of the best sports show out, Highly Opinionated. Again, I say it's the best sports show out, but make sure you guys follow and subscribe and watch Club JG podcast. My brother's doing great things, like I mentioned earlier. If I'm the best sports show out, that's 1A right there. Or if he's the best sports show out, we're 1A over here. So shout out to my brother, man. Keep doing great things, bro.
Appreciate you, my guy. And same sentiments here. Y'all subscribe to Club JG and Highly Opinionated. We doing something over here. You about to change the game.
Absolutely, bro. All love over here. You know that. For the best co-host in the game, JG. For the best producer in the game, Ross. I'm merely Josh. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you next week. We out.